Hey everyone, today is Thursday, the 12th of September 2019. This is The Gap, episode 484. I'm with Lawrie. Joab Gilroy's here, and how's your week going, Joab? Anything exciting happening?
No, nothing exciting happening. What about you?
Yeah, been doing some things. I guess
Went to a concert? You fuck.
went to a concert. Yes, I went to the Golden State Warriors Chase Center.
Nobody gives a fuck about where it was, you fuck. That is so far down on the list of why this story is interesting. This is how Heath would tell a story. He would fucking open up with, oh yeah, well, just to let you know the scene. Blah, 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 blah. And then he'd hit you with the fucking interesting bit at the end and wouldn't elaborate at all. Just get to the fucking good stuff. Let's skip ahead.
So it's building up to it.
You're a fucking unskippable cutscene at this point. I'm trying to skip through the dialogue until we get to the interesting bit.
So it was the grand opening weekend for the new Warriors Stadium in San Francisco, and the opening act was Metallica. So I had tickets to go see them in October in Sydney, which I bought I think last year for my birthday, or early this year, which is, I think the event was supposed to be like October 26th or something like that. So I ended up selling them because I couldn't be there. But when I got here, I heard about them doing this opening, and so I jumped online the Thursday night, and they were playing on Friday, and the tickets for this event were basically like, you can resell tickets. I don't know if you've bought fucking tickets to events recently, but they're all doing this, like, before you go to eBay and like you'd buy them, scalpers would just fucking grab a bunch and you'd go onto eBay and buy tickets or whatever. Now, like, all of these companies have their own resale sites, so you buy tickets for their events and then you use their official site to resell tickets to other people. It's fucked up. But at the same time, I guess you're guaranteed of knowing that it's a proper, like, it's an official ticket. It's still fucking stupid.
It's marginally less dodgy,
yeah,
than the fraud situation, like the fraud potential. But considering the alternative corporate fraud potential, where Ticketmaster et al. Buy their own tickets and then resell them, which apparently was a huge fucking big problem with the International 2019 in China. The Chinese company looking after it apparently sold a fuck ton of tickets to preferred resellers, like, from the fucking get-go.
Yeah. And
also, a bunch of other scalpers. I know a bunch of scalpers got arrested for scalping, which was pretty interesting. That's going to hurt their social credit score, isn't it?
Sure.
But yeah, anyway.
I mean, I guess there's obviously legitimate, like, my case is legitimate. I couldn't get there anymore, so I was trying to get rid of my ticket and ended up selling it through, like a StubHub or something like that. So anyway, I jumped on, and the tickets for this event were going for upwards of like $1,000 to $2,000 for good seats. And so it was Symphony Metallica. It's their 20th year anniversary since they did S&M way back. And this was like a special event for them. So I was like, I'm not spending. No, thank you. No, thank you very much. Right. And then I realized they had a second event on, which was on the Sunday, and this was for their Metallica Club fan members. So this is only for people that are signed up to their fan club, which gives you access to exclusive events and merchandising and things like that. I am not a Metallica Club member. I just happened to go, well, I'll check on the Sunday tickets and see what's happening. And it looks like they released a bunch of tickets that hadn't actually been sold through the club website. And so I picked up really cheap tickets. Also, they were fucking awesome seats. I ended up getting tickets that were about... so the way they had the actual stadium set up was the band was set up in the middle with the orchestra as well on the ground. And then around them was about between 5 rows of seats on either side of them, and on the longer section maybe 10, so between 5 and 10 rows of seats. And then I was in this as you get away from the seating section, that's when you're in the stands, and I was in the 4th row on the stands, which was super freaking close. Like, I got there and I thought I'd have okay seats. But the moment that I walked in the stadium, like, it's a really nice stadium, and I didn't realize as soon as I stepped into like the seating area, like you could literally see all the way down, everything around you. Like, it's really well set out. And then I got to my seat and I was like, this is freaking awesome. I'm so close. It's nuts.
So would you say it was better or worse than the Boomers versus Team USA?
It was a lot better. I'm like, yeah, it was way better seating. But like the Boomers stuff wasn't bad. But I feel like, so we're actually looking at getting package tickets to the Warriors games now.
You're fucking scum!
So, because when I was in there, we would
switch fucking basketball allegiances fucking 4 times in the last 5 years or whatever the fuck, right? Yeah. But you are still scum. If you give the fucking Warriors money, oh my god. Oh my god.
It's my new hometown, I have to.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I kind of like scoped out the seating there, and it doesn't seem like there's, even if you're up like the top of the rafters, they still seem like decent. Like, you can still see the game. So anyway, yeah, Metallica was awesome. They only did this for 2 nights. They had like a 2.5 to 3 hour set list. Basically played like a bunch of like songs from the original S&M, and then brought in some new songs from some of the other albums they released since then. They did some new stuff with the orchestra played some classical music, and then Metallica played with them at one stage.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so they during the intermission, they had intermission. I don't know if that's like a union thing for maybe a theater or something like that, but because you don't usually go to a rock concert and they're like, we're going to have an intermission for 20, 30 minutes and then come back. Yeah. So it could be like a union thing. I'm not too sure. But anyway, so they had the intermission, they came back, and then the orchestra played some a classical piece, and then they played a second one, and Metallica played the song with them, which was pretty cool. And then they went into Unforgiven 3, which was the band didn't play at all, but it was just the orchestra playing with James singing. So that was, something different as well. So it was a freaking awesome night. Like that second night.
If I was in Metallica, I wouldn't want to play Unforgiven 3 either.
With the other bit. I like Unforgiven 3. It's nowhere near as good as the other 2, but I still don't mind it. It's different.
I was talking about on Twitter yesterday, the Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and End of the World. And Unforgiven 3 is truly the end of the world of the Unforgiven trilogy, because it's just, it's not a bad song. It's just nowhere near
the others. Yeah, I haven't seen Hot Fuzz for a very long time, and I feel like I've only watched it once. Whereas in The World's End, I've seen maybe half a dozen times, I feel like, at this stage.
Wait, do you like The World's End?
I don't hate it. Like you were saying, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like
Why haven't you watched Hot Fuzz more?
I don't know. I just never got around to it again.
I watched it on that COD trip. After we bailed on doing nothing.
Bailed on drinking.
Bailed on drinking in a hotel room. I went back to my hotel room and drank and watched Hot Fuzz. It's literally like there's 3 movies, and it's not like Die Hard isn't one of them anymore. Die Hard's what I watch when I'm sick. The Departed is what I watch when I want something, and Christmas, obviously. The Departed is what I watch when I want something serious, and Hot Fuzz is what I watch when I want something funny that I've already seen. It has to be obviously something I've already seen. You know how you get into a mood where you're like, I don't want to take a risk on something new because there's no way I can fucking tell if it's going to be good or not. So instead, I'm just going to watch something I've already watched. So I go for The Departed. There used to be Goodfellas before The Departed, but I think The Departed is better than Goodfellas, to be honest.
It's an awesome movie.
It is. But yeah, and Hot Fuzz is fucking untouchable in my opinion. It's
right. I need to rewatch it, I think.
But there's just so many layers you see on your 80th rewatch. But yeah, anyway. Yeah. So, was there any other highlights?
Um, I thought it was all pretty good. They played like the whole stadium was basically seating. Nobody uses seating except for when the orchestra came back out of the intermission,
Right.
and the only other seating being used was that by the orchestra. Um, Otherwise, they were like the sound was really good. They played some really good songs.
It didn't
Uh,
translate on video very well because
right.
you recorded some videos and stuff, and I thought that
Yeah, well,
the
I was there.
like yeah, like obviously, like I knew that it wouldn't translate as well via video, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out because I've seen a bunch of videos from it afterwards, and I think
Hmm.
I don't must be something in the way microphones in phones pick shit up, but
Yeah.
just makes me wonder, like, except for flexing on your friends who couldn't possibly have gone to it, which is exactly what you were doing. Um, like, I don't know why people fucking like people will record an entire
The whole
fucking
thing. Yeah.
concert on their
Yeah.
phone, and like, what are you gonna do? Watch it back? Never, right? Like, why?
Yeah. And the thing is that like something like that, at least they'll release that. I mean, they are. They've confirmed they're doing a like a theater. Um, they're releasing it in the cinema, and they'll
Yeah,
release a Blu-ray and all that sort of thing. So you know it's going to be out there. It's not like you're going to lose it forever.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought it was all really good. The second night in particular, I think would have been probably their favorite because it was like their closest sort of fans, and they had like at one stage Lars jumped off the drums and was talking to the audience about. He basically just stood there and like looked at all the flags that people had around and was like calling out all the countries of people that were had flown in from everywhere to see them. So he spent like a minute or two just calling that countries out, pointing people out, saying thanks. And then after it was all done, I was leaving the lobby, and some guys, wanted to take a photo. They were all like, a lot of people dressed up in suits and that sort of thing, like playing off it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And they basically said, oh, you look like a friendly face. Can you take a photo for us? And they were Australian. I said, yeah, is that because I'm Australian? And they were like,
Nice.
so yeah, it was like 80% of people there were wearing like Metallica shirts and like really hardcore fans that have flown in from all over the world to go see this sort of exclusive sort of one night only or two night only sort of event.
And then there's
Um,
Luke who fucking Mr. Magooed his way into the
Stumbled my
fucking
way
yeah.
in.
Unbelievable. So did you have to
Yeah.
sign up for the fan? Are you a
No,
Metallica?
I think they were just released them through Ticketmaster as the
Right.
event got really close, and they had a
Yeah,
couple.
right.
There wasn't
Yeah.
a lot that hadn't been sold, but there was some seats.
Yeah, right.
And the ones in particular that I saw, I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just grab this ticket, like easy done. It was a $400 ticket, but shit, like that's these sort
Less
of
than you pay
events.
for the basketball.
Yeah, less than I paid for the basketball.
Less than
Um,
you pay to see maybe the best basketball team in the world
yeah,
defeat the fifth to eighth best. No, lose to the fifth to eighth best basketball team in the world because Team USA is out of the World Championships.
yeah,
The battered, bruised remains of what Team USA sent to the World Championships anyway is out. They got knocked out by fucking France,
yeah.
who
Who
were
we
beaten
beat?
by Australia. So
To
by the transitive property, Australia beat USA. But yeah, and now we've got to play Spain. Spain's
Yeah,
pretty
that's gonna be
scary,
a
eh?
tough one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Spain's generally considered like a top three sort of team. Um, I don't know about you, but I think they're actually showing the games here on ESPN, one of the ESPN channels. But otherwise, you can watch it on ESPN Plus. Are they broadcasting any Australian games in Australia, like on SBS or something like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen them. Well, I mean, I tried to watch the fucking rugby World Cup preliminaries on the
mm,
weekend, and it was a fucking ordeal. So I'm literally, if I'm watching sports, I'm watching it on my fucking computer right here, because trying to watch it on my fucking TV out there is like banging my fucking head against the wall. It used to be really easy when I had the computer plugged in, but now I switched to the fucking NAS.
yeah,
Now that I switched to the NAS, it's yeah, I don't have simplistic browser access. I guess could I like Steam Link? Can I watch it through Steam Link
I guess it
off this
depends
computer?
on what Steam Link's browser capabilities are like. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I think I'm gonna try that because we literally fucking wound up casting 10 play from my wife's Samsung S9 onto my
Template's
Samsung.
terrible.
Oh yeah, it was awful. But yeah, we cast it from her Samsung S9 onto my Samsung television because I couldn't do it from my phone, my Google fucking Pixel. It just wouldn't fucking cast the fucking video. We couldn't cast Foxtel because it wouldn't cast. It would cast the audio but not the video. It was like a fucking nightmare, man. Like I could not understand how it could be as fucking complex as it is. KO doesn't have a fucking app for my television yet. So yeah, I'm like, the fuck am I supposed to do? Right? Like, I very much want to watch the Rugby World Cup. I think I'm
You're
gonna have to
making
get,
it hard.
yeah. I think I'm gonna have to get like KO, and I think I'm gonna have to maybe just plug my fucking old laptop into the TV and do it that way. I think that might be my only fucking option because every single other alternative, if Steam Link works, I'll just use that. But otherwise, yeah, they don't like KO doesn't have fucking. They've only got an Android TV app, and apparently my Samsung TV is not Android TV. It's Tizen TV or some bullshit. Like, pull your fucking finger out, KO. Like, good God. And Foxtel. Foxtel doesn't have a fucking app on my television. And Foxtel, they've got. I don't want to go down a fucking rabbit hole here, but it is fucking staggering how hard Foxtel are trying to shit the bed. They are literally hovering over the fucking bed and squeezing with all their might, right? Like, it is crazy. PlayStation has Foxtel Play. Xbox has Foxtel Now. Regular fucking computer has Foxtel Go. Your phone has Foxtel Go. No. Regular computer has Foxtel. Your phone has Foxtel Go. Trying to get any of these cunts to fucking talk to one another it's literally like trying to cram a fucking big old fucking rolling pin into your dick hole. It is just like, just fucking go! Because
There's a gift for you.
like I couldn't do it. Like we just couldn't get it to fucking work. And yeah, by the time we fucking got it, like I missed the haka. It was Samoa's haka, so you know, not the biggest deal, but still, you want to see it. But yeah, we literally, I think 30 seconds after kickoff is I managed to actually fucking get the fucking thing working. It was infuriating. It was so fucking aggravating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that was annoying. Anyway, yeah, S&M. I love symphony-backed fucking performances. Like, I think it's such a interesting way to like take another look. Like, generally, I fucking hate when bands take their old stuff and do something new with it. Like,
Sure.
by and large, every band that has done that has fucked their own songs. Bon Jovi has an album where he's just shitting up his own songs. Bonnie Tyler has a fucking different version of Total Eclipse of the Heart, which is one of my least favorite fucking songs of all time mostly because it shows up in Google Play as the same as the regular Total Eclipse of the Heart, and so I'll accidentally start playing it, and you can't fucking, because of the way that both songs work, you can't tell that it's a different one until it's fucking 4 minutes into the fucking intro. Cyndi Lauper fucked up a bunch of her own songs, but the symphony-backed version is almost always just better because it's clear, like it's pretty clear to get to the point where you're playing for a high quality symphony. Your concepts of music theory are pretty fucking high. And so I think generally they what they do to lift the music is usually better. Like
Right.
usually,
And
yeah,
they're no longer just playing, it's no longer five people trying to play in time with the drummer or anything like that. It's now a band trying to play in time with 100 fucking people on stage because there's an
yeah,
entire symphony in time with, being. Yeah, it's a completely different experience for them as well.
yeah,
But yeah, Metallica don't really toy a lot with like a lot of their older stuff. The tempo's sped up, and so when they play it live, it's quicker. But otherwise, yeah, like S&M is one of my probably favorite like top 2, top 3 Metallica albums that they've put out. Like I watched the shit out of that and listened to it a lot
yeah,
growing up. So yeah, one of my favorites.
yeah.
So it was good. Very
That's
much
awesome.
enjoyed it. I tried to get some T-shirts. They're all sold out. Oh no, I got to the lining up, and they were like, "We've only got XXLs," and I'm like, "Cool, I'm out."
And it's an American XXL as well, so
Yeah.
it's a fucking tent.
Yeah, exactly.
You can take it
Yeah.
down to Tenderloin. Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
so that was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else interesting happens this week? You got all your
No.
shit set up?
No, so we signed a lease to
How
an
many fucking
apartment.
chairs do you have behind you? You got a fucking big
That's
couch, some
the
grey
cat.
chair.
Cat sits there.
Oh, the cat's chair, of course.
Yeah.
You've got your office chair you're sitting on. Is that a fucking air on? You can't.
I know it's not mine. It's all furnished. All this stuff.
Oh, all right.
Our stuff is in a shipping container on its way. So yeah. So we signed a lease. We're moving in sometime in October, or we can basically move in within the next couple of like 2 or 3 weeks. But we don't have anything here, so
Yeah, right.
yeah. So then I'll sort out my internet situation, make sure that's all good, and hopefully we can get the podcast back up and running. But I've got an American phone now. I've had like 3 fucking scammer calls already this morning. It's been fun.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Cool.
it feels like I'm back home already.
I'm thinking I'm back. Yeah, nice. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Shall we talk about some video games?
Should we? Should we ever?
Should we ever? We do have first things first. Quick update on the Rig 700.
Yep.
The headphones that I talked about last week. The things I'm wearing right now. They are still significantly lighter than my old G, whatever, the Logitechs. But yeah, I don't know about 12 hours of battery life. I would say from use, heavy use, obviously, I wear them pretty much all day. I'd say I get about 10 hours. It just means I have to charge them every day. It's not that big a deal. It is a pretty solid excuse for me to get up off my fucking ass and stop sitting at my computer for 10 hours a day, which obviously isn't very healthy. The other thing is it does this thing where it tells me, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. I'm going to try something, okay? Let me see.
Power off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if, like, I can't ask you if you heard that.
Power on. Battery high. Headset connected.
Could you hear that?
Yep.
Yeah, so that is ear-shatteringly loud, and I have no fucking idea how to fucking turn it down. And so basically I have to, if I'm turning my fucking headphones on, I have to hold it away from my fucking head until it's done. But the other thing is, when the battery falls to medium or needs to be charged, it pops in again. And it has happened during games so many fucking times, and it overwhelms all other sound from the headset. And like I'm like fucking sitting there in fucking Rainbow Six. I'm like fucking crouched in a corner. I'm like, oh no, it was PUBG. It was fucking PUBG. And we were on Sandhawk. We had a really good run. We landed at fucking Cave on Sandhawk, and the circle ended on Cave at Sandhawk. But Wingus, Dingus, and fucking Fringus, Kleb, Drew, and Heath insisted that we go elsewhere, even though I'm like, well, I'm fucking geared up. I walked down to fucking Cave with like fucking all level 2, an AK, a fucking Vector. I'm like, fucking, don't worry about it. No, fucking, away we go to the north. And then back we come to fucking south again. God damn it. So we came second. Very annoyed. But anyway, I'm sitting in a fucking corner and we can tell the people coming into this fucking house because there is like this house is the last house inside of the fucking circle. Right, the very last house, and then the rest of the circle is fucking cave. And I'm fucking crouched in this corner, and then I can hear some like this BDRM fucking like pulls in, like just fucking powers in, and then I can hear footsteps. And he's watching the other door, and I'm watching, and I'm hiding behind this door because I'm gonna like pop out and fucking like bland this cunt when he comes through. I'm sure of it. And I hear him coming up, and I'm like, okay. And then battery level medium, and I'm like, fucking hell.
Did you immediately just start shooting?
I absolutely did, and I punted this cunt through the fucking door. And he must have 100% felt like I was fucking hacking. Because, like, he was making enough noise. He was literally just running up to, because I think he was trying to flank Heath. But yeah, just fucking into this fucking doorway. And you know how doors are fucking, they got peno. So, yeah, fucking found a fucking hole through this wall, this door, and then fucking finish him off. I'm like, well, that was pretty fucking slick. But, yeah, it scared the fuck out of me. So that was you know, that was good. That was good times. Anyway,
do they not have software?
So the software doesn't recognize these headphones. I don't know if it's not officially released yet or what, but yeah, I can't work out how to get the software to recognize these fucking headphones. So I can't work out how to fucking do that shit with it because it's got Dolby, like Atmos and surround and all that kind of stuff, and I've installed that stuff, and that seems to be working, and it's a huge improvement over the Logitechs. Although I believe the Logitechs have it as well, it just wasn't implemented. The Logitech software is pretty fucking janky as well, so I think the Logitech headset implements it all through their gaming software, and so if your fucking headset isn't recognized, then it just won't do it. The rigs seem to do it via the new Windows sound drivers that were put in and fucked up all my sound settings with that May critical update. Yeah. It seems to do it via that, which means it's just whenever it's on, which is good. But yeah, I can't get it to actually recognize in the Plantronics software. So it's like, if I look at it, it'll, the Plantronics is on right now, and it'll be like, no device connected. Okay, cool. So yeah.
So you have to plug it into with a USB or something.
Maybe. I don't know. You heard the fucking lady. Device connected. She reckons the device is connected, okay? But yeah. Anyway.
Because with mine...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have to put them on my little docking station thing.
Oh, okay.
Before it does anything. Let me just check quickly. Yeah. Oh, no, it's fine.
Right.
It works.
Well, you sure showed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well. Cool. Yeah, I
should
don't
have got Astros.
If they're free. No, in our Discord channel, everyone's been talking about headsets. The fucking Sennheisers or Audio Technicas. I like Audio Technica I just don't need a fucking. Because my my microphone, my Yeti microphone is shitting the bed. Finally, it's 7.5 years old, so not a bad run for the old boy, but yeah, I think when I buy a new microphone, I might also spring for some like just regular, legit cans, as we call them in the radio business, and a DAC, and use that instead. Go full sound wanker over it, because I don't need a gaming headset, right? Like, I don't use the microphone. It doesn't really bring that much to me. The only thing is that I don't think, you know, super legit cans are gonna be wireless unless I spend fucking like thousands.
Yeah,
right.
They're doing a lot, but the whole Dolby Atmos thing, or Dolby Surround, is not something they're doing much of. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's like the 3D sound. I know you and Nate have both talked about it before, but I feel like I've been playing blind for yonks because I had like obviously stereo sound for ages, but I've clearly not been playing with 3D sound because the amount of shit I can like tell now. PUBG isn't the best example, but I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege as well,
Rainbow's
and
good,
the amount of fucking info you get, holy fuck! So just jump into Rainbow.
yeah.
From here, Rainbow Six, obviously, I've been playing a bit more of that. The update came out last night. Played it this morning, so they got new playlists. So you can go casual, you can go unranked, which is the ranked playlist, but it doesn't impact your ranking, and you can go ranked. And yeah, that's a cool move. It's designed to get like they're trying to get the sweaty cunts out of casual, basically. But I don't think that's working. Based on the games I had this morning, I did not experience fewer sweaty cunts. I experienced far more sweaty cunts in casual. So it was probably the sweatiest game I've had in a long time. And these dudes were trash talking like they opened, they were defending from the get-go. They opened by like 5-man spawn peeking, like just full-blown no respect spawn peaks. They had fucking like who does it? Was it Mind Freak or Auglis? I was watching the Six Masters, and one of the teams was doing these bullet hole. Hang on. Sorry. One of the teams was doing these bullet hole peaks. So instead of bashing a hole, they just shoot, and the contrast of light when someone runs in front of something is all they need, and they just fucking spam into the wall, which is some Larry shit. They were doing that stuff. They had dozens of murder holes all over the fucking place. Just hyper sweaty shit. And after they won that round, they were like full trash talk. Got it in a game last night as well, playing a squirrel. And these dudes won 3-0. And at the end, they're like, oh, that was fucking trash. You guys are fucking trash. And I jumped on into the text. I'm like, just say GG, dickhead. Like, there's no need to be toxic.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond after that. I don't know. I hope maybe I got through to him. Like, there's just no need, right? Like, all you're doing, if you want the game to fucking grow, if you want to have more fucking games against, if you're casual stomping so you can casual stomp, you're not going to get more fucking people to stomp on if you berate everyone into not playing anymore. But anyway, this morning, after that first round, these dudes had jumped in and like, oh, easy 3-0, easy 3-0. Like fucking all 5 of them. I think they were 5-stack. They're like, easy 3-0, GG easy, here we go, blah, 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 all in the chat. Obviously trying to tilt. And one dude on my team was like, oh, that's it. I'm going full sweat as well. And so he's like jumped on Cav. We're on fucking, it's the Clubhouse. We're on Clubhouse. And he went and hid in the tunnel. And then, so they never droned his ass out. They droned the rest of us. We were in garage. Fucking ran in behind him. Fucking, they were doing like peeks through the doors and all this kind of shit. But he managed to interrogate one of them upstairs, and we just fucking warbanged the rest of them to death. Nice. Then he immediately jumps on the text and he's like, oh, easy, reverse sweep, easy sweep. And it turned into a really good game after that. Like, it was just like mutual respect, I guess, but like it shouldn't have to be that way. It doesn't matter. Amaru is the new attacker. She's got the grappling hook. We talked about her. Didn't really get much experience with her. She's good. Obviously, but she's pretty hyper situation. Like can only be except for the super fucking aggressive attack play. She wasn't super useful on Clubhouse just because of the locations we kept getting. Like there was no. I think if we'd gotten that upstairs gym bedroom spot, if we'd gotten that, maybe she could have like really quickly fucking busted in or something. But otherwise, not particularly. Goyo, fucking awesome. I didn't get to play him, but I picked Maestro, and that is a wombo combo for the fucking ages. It was fucking spectacular. I four-manned. I didn't get the ace. I was gutted, but we're in garage again because casual randomly selects the spot for you. So we're in garage, and yeah, we had a fucking we had the Goyos at the doorways and one on the top ramp. I would have liked if some of my other teammates had taken barriers as well, deployable shields as well, because that would have sort of obfuscated what exactly was a Goyo or not, but it didn't really fucking matter. I put my cameras down and yeah, I hid behind hard cover up top and jumped on the cameras. And anytime I zapped the fucking Goyo shields. It exploded them. It was fucking beautiful. It worked so good, man. Like, it was fucking... I felt like fucking mad tickhole. Because, yeah, I was just fucking shredding them. But, yeah, so that worked out well. Goyo Maestro, that's my pro tip. I don't know if it's a fucking new tip or not, but...
it is new.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was literally just a fucking, like, random thought I had to have a go. I'm like, yeah, well, let's see how that goes. But yeah, nice. Works well. Otherwise, I'm never, well versed in how well an update is doing. It seems like every update they do, there's always a bunch of complaints about, this and this and this and that, blah, blah, blah. This bug is game breaking. Esports ready, blah, blah, blah. Because they all like having a whinge. But I think it's pretty good. Like, it felt really good to play and stuff. So I felt like my shots were hitting where they should, and I felt snappy and whatnot. Felt like Rainbow Six Siege, really. So yeah, it's pretty good. Didn't see how big the update was, but I don't think it was too big because I started up Uplay to start the update, and then I went and grabbed some fucking muesli, and it was done. So unless my internet has gotten significantly better without me realizing it, it mustn't be too big an update.
Yeah, I think they're only usually like 5 gig or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, and they got esports skins in now with and you can get, like, the teams get a share of the purchases. So I bought the Nomad skin, the Nomad Fnatic skin. Even though I don't use Nomad, I've got to start using Nomad, I guess. I picked her. I picked her on the last round so that I could fucking flex as MVP in that last round of the sweaty game that I had this morning, and didn't quite work out. But fuck, it was close. It was so close. Yeah, could have been good. Oh well. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right. While we're talking about updates, Man of Medan.
Oh, Man of Medan.
I finished this on the weekend, I think.
Yep.
Was pretty close to the end. When I last talked about it, just didn't realize it was kind of, I think, the last act or something like that. It's pretty short. It's not a super long game. It's only a couple hours.
Yep.
And yeah, I think I said last week that it wasn't anywhere near as good as Until Dawn, and I was kind of holding out to see where the story went. The story is very good. It's very abrupt. Like, it ended, and I was like, wait, that was it?
Right.
Like, all right, okay, that was the story. Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it wasn't a huge fan of the story. I think it's a pretty average game. I complained last week about the quick time events being like they just don't give enough time for people that haven't sort of played before. I think they're too quick. And then on top of that, it's hard to distinguish what's a quick time press the button and what's a mash the button. Like sometimes you've got to like press X to pump, or press cross to pump, depending on
what
where you're coming from. And so like the whole you got to keep mashing it until fill up the circle. Like the first time you do it, and you're like, oh, it's still on the screen. By the time that has happened, sometimes there's just not enough time for you to finish the entire sequence. So yeah, that's like it's not easily distinguishable between what's a quick time event and what's a like mash the fucking button. So I think it's just not as nowhere near as good.
Like not as good, yeah.
Until Dawn. The story was very average. There's no like big payoff at the end. It kind of just abruptly ends. Like I thought it was just strange when it ended. We were just very confused. I do like that there's sort of like a stinger at the end of here's what's coming up next on the Dark Pictures anthology that they're doing. I'm hoping that they start rolling them out probably quicker. I'm guessing this thing's coming out next year. I haven't really looked into it, but if they can do like one a year, then that could be interesting. As long as they keep the price tag a bit low. I don't know what it is in Australia, but it wasn't too expensive here. It was like a $25 game or something like that.
Yeah.
So not like a full price game. But otherwise, I hope they pick up the like just the quality of it a bit more. Like I said last week, I don't know if the budget is. It seems like the budget's lower than what they had for Until Dawn from Sony.
100%. Yeah.
Namco Bandai is. I feel like maybe they've got one more shot at this next one, and then we'll see what happens. But otherwise, like I don't think it's sold that well.
Yeah. Well, it's a 3-part anthology, right?
Oh, is it 3 parts? Well, maybe
I think so. I thought
2 more coming.
Yeah.
I just wish they had more to do. Like I don't think any of the characters are interesting.
Yeah.
Like Iceman is just super. Like I mean, they've got all these interesting actors in there, but they're just not given anything interesting to do.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's some gameplay mechanics in there that I like. The aesthetic of the game I really like, and sort of the tone of it. But otherwise, the writing's not anywhere near as good. Like I started watching Scream season 3 yesterday, and the quality of that show has definitely tanked.
Oh, really?
A lot. Yeah, they've basically rebooted it again with the entire new cast. It's like only 6 episodes or something, so I'm just gonna like play it out to see kind of where it goes. But the writing is not very good.
Right.
Just kind of reminds me of that. Like you've gone from Until Dawn where it was cheesy, but the writing was okay. You had interesting characters and whatnot.
It was on theme, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of hoping the next one. They haven't announced cast lists for that or anything like that, but it seems to look interesting what they're doing with it. From this sneak peek sort of stuff, but otherwise, Medan. Hard to recommend unless you're a really big fan of Until Dawn, or because like I was, I guess, and that's kind of where its downfall was. Is my expectations were a bit high. Like I've read reviews and people seem to really like it. I've read reviews of people saying they've played it through multiple times with multiple people, just see different endings and whatnot. I just have no
inclination.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing there that kind of wants me to go back and see how things can play out differently. So, yeah, bit disappointed in that one.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? Do you want to talk about Gears?
Yeah. Okay.
Gears 5.
Shall we leave Gears till last?
Yeah. Okay. We can leave Gears to last.
Let's talk about Civ 6 Red Death real quick.
Okay.
Played it last night. Played it with Squirrel. Played it on my own. It's bad. It's just not good. Like, so if you don't know what if you don't know what Civilization 6 Red Death is, it's a new mode that they added in the free update yesterday that is a battle royale mode for Civilization. And generally, all Civilization games are battle royale, and that you randomly spawn somewhere and you got to kill everyone. Yeah, like anyone who's going for diplomacy wins is preparing to fucking lose when I park on their fucking doorstep. Fucking the entire might of my armies. Yeah, it's more battle royale in that it's got like the Red Death is this closing zone that pushes everyone together. You can't make cities. All you do is sort of roam around trying to find new units by finding these existing dilapidated cities, and they'll give you like resources, generally in the form of units. And so the units allow you to build out your city, your civilization, and then the more civilizations you've got, the more units you've got, the more likely you are to win in the end. And also, you fight raiders and stuff, and that'll give you the ability to level up your characters and stuff. Apart from the fact that it's just woefully put together, you click on play Red Death, and the first time I clicked it took me straight into a game, which was pretty weird. And then every time after that, I think it took me and Squirrel about 25 minutes to get into a game. Like, just to get into a game, because it'd be like, error, could not find game, error, game is full, error, 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 over and over and over. And then you'd finally get into a game, but you weren't actually in the lobby, technically. Like, you weren't a part of the lobby. You were just sort of able to see the lobby, but you're in, like, I don't know, people must be, like, failing to uncheck AI, and so you are assigned to an AI faction in the lobby, and then so you can't actually play or do anything. You're just sort of staring. So basically a spectator who will watch some AI, and so you back out, and then you try again. But the matchmaking doesn't restrict stuff that you've already joined and backed out from.
So join the same lobby.
Yeah, or people are trying to play a game with their friends, so they kick you, but it just keeps trying to put you back into that same fucking lobby over and over and over. That's all garbage. Once you get into the game, it doesn't really explain anything about how the fuck you do anything or what means what. You just sort of fucking have to work it out on the fly, which I don't, ultra hate for a battle royale. I do think learning on the fly is a big portion of the battle royale experience, but it's not very well done here because a lot of it is quite dissimilar to the regular Civilization. So you see familiar things, you see things that should be familiar, but they don't scan the same. They don't react the same, and so you're not able to interpret them correctly, which is a significant failure. I think if it is too similar, you need to specifically explain why it's not the same. Like if PUBG unleashed a new map and every time you jumped, you actually crouched, right? It would need to tell you that was going to happen, because otherwise the first time you jumped, you'd crouch and it would put you in it, like it would be disadvantageous for you, right? And then spread that into every single fucking button does something different, right? You'd be basically having to relearn the game. You'd know the game and know what you're supposed to do, and you'd have a sense of muscle memory that would tell you what you're supposed to do, but in practice, nothing you thought should happen would happen, and you'd sort of get fucked. So yeah, that's a pretty big problem with this. All turns happen at exactly the same time. everyone, like, it sort of waits for everyone to resolve their turn, which means generally if you're in a battle with someone, what you want to do is click them as fast as possible. As soon as the turn starts, you want to click on them so that you can get an attack in, because if they're going to try to run away, then you will at least do some damage to them, which is obviously important, and then you can chase them down. From there, what else? You want to get you want to get multiples of the same unit so you can create cores. Cores is a dumb word. Core, CORPS, cores, as in not CORES,
Corpse.
not corpses. Although you do want to create corpses in this game, you don't want to create corpses. Yeah, cores. The cores are just generally, or no, just significantly more powerful units. So you get them by combining multiple of the same type. It's an easy way to like quickly level up your team. I have no idea how fucking movement works in it. I don't actually understand why sometimes my dudes were able to walk quickly and sometimes they weren't, because I couldn't get the tooltips on the terrain that I was on to show up reliably. So there were moments where my dudes would move just one hex when I needed them to move two, obviously, at least, but they just wouldn't. And I, for the life of me, couldn't work out why. Movement is a fucking massive deal in Red Death, because at the end of the day, you'll spend, unless you land center, you'll spend most of your time just running away from the fucking circle. In my last game, and the last game that I will play of it, I'm not going back to it, I did land center, and I lost because when the game, the turn ended, instead of just remain like this, the camera fucking shifted, and I don't know why. I don't understand why the camera shifted. I've never seen it do that before. But so when the camera shifted and the turn said go, I clicked immediately, and what had happened was I had a unit selected, and they attacked the wrong person. If they attacked the correct person, I would have won the battle, because as soon as your caravan dies, as soon as your civilian dies, you are out. Yeah, I would have won the battle, but instead attacked the wrong person and lost the battle, and that was it. That was my game. Wholly unsatisfying way to lose. The other way, one of the other ways I lost was I was running into the circle, and the map's covered in fog of war. I ran into what I figured was a viable path. There was mountains on either side, but it sort of like created a bit of a valley between the mountains. The valley ended one square past where the circle ended. So I was trapped, because you can't go over mountains unless your units have the ability to scale mountains. So
I thought you would have learnt all this from playing Apex.
Well, see, that's it. Yeah, it was a shitty fucking way to die. Just couldn't really do anything, right? Like, I had to walk back out into the red and try to get back in, and I got like one hex away from getting back in when I died, and that was about it. Yeah, it was just a shitty fucking experience all around, like all over. Like, I don't know why you would promote this at all. I have no idea, because functionally it is bad. Like, it's like, it's a mod, right? It's a mod for Civ 6 basically.
Yeah.
It's a like half-assed mod that they popped out for like a bare, like a gag basically. But they've gone and promoted it pretty heavily the same week, like in between two of their other giant releases as well, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me, because NBA 2K20 came out last week and Borderlands 3 comes out this week. So I don't know why you would like skewer your own thunder unless the
Especially
idea
like
is
Civilization 6 being one of the biggest PC games on Steam.
right. Like, wouldn't you want people to not be focused on like anything other than the fucking big release coming out this week?
Hmm.
Anyway, yeah, it just like not a single part of it makes any fucking sense to me, and it's poorly executed, and I hate it. And I uninstalled Civilization 6 because of it.
Right. When I saw the announcement for this, I was super confused. I was like, isn't Civilization 6 a battle royale technically anyway? Like, I don't play it for diplomacy. Did they just turn the win condition off for that? And it's like, you just need to kill everybody.
When I play against AI, I turn all the other win conditions off anyway because I'm like, fuck that. I'm not fucking racing across the world to stop some cunt from doing a diplomacy victory. Fuck this shit. We're just battling it out.
Or
I know what
like,
I'm about.
You try to genocide everybody except one dude's going for like the Wonders achievement.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm kind of busy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I watched that trailer. I was very confused, but hearing you talk about the other sort of elements and the way it works, having a retracting circle and not being able to build cities like makes a bit more sense to me.
Yep.
But what's their battle royale number? Is it 10 people still?
It's the biggest game I had was 9. Apparently, it can go up to 12.
Okay, 12. Yeah.
But I never saw it.
Are they long games or are they sort of? Because like a standard game of Civilization, that's
way shorter than that. Way shorter than that.
Days.
Yeah. No, that's not it. I recorded a single game of it, and I got into the last.
And I'm guessing there's like a time limit on turns as well, sort of like the regular game. To sort of, I guess it's playing out at real time as well. So
I'd say about 40
quicker.
minutes.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, there is a timer on like how long you have to take your turn. So once you run out of that time, you've got to take the turn. Oh, it just sort of takes the turn for you. So yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, disappointing.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Civ series.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I guess it's like at least it's not a paid thing. Like if it's not for you, then you don't have to play it.
That's true.
We just played regular Civ, Joe. What are you doing?
We could. I would happily play a game of like. We could do that. We should do it.
It's hard though because we've got a bit of a time difference.
No, we'll do like a turn a day.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That'd take forever.
Would it? Yeah, I guess it would.
Yeah,
like,
it would.
What if we do like the first, I'd say, 30 turns in one play session, right? Because that'd take an hour, hour and a half. Yeah. And then we switch to email turns. Right? And you just play it like fucking Neptune's Pride.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'd do it. I'd be down. It's definitely. Yeah. Like, fuck yeah. If anyone wants to join in, let's do it. Like, because at the end of the day, it'd literally just be you have to load up Civ 6 for probably 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Like, go back
does it automatically do email turns?
Yeah. It's got like,
all that in there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all built in.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. We'll find out who else wants to play.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd invite Gavin or someone, and then he'd play for the first 3 goes, and then just disappear forever.
Maybe. You just have to. The trick to that though is to analyze who is the weakest link in that scenario, and then just fucking beeline them.
Yeah. Who's not going to be around much longer?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Nice. All right. Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yeah, this is the was it the closed beta or something like that?
Yeah, it was the closed beta, and they gotta do something about this game, eh? Like, okay, let's kick off with the objectively bad parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen, but the like, should reviews be subjective or objective thing has been raging on Twitter over the last week. So wing wangs are convinced that game reviews should be more objective. And I've argued this before, that to an extent there is an element of objectivity in a game review, and I remember getting laughed at. But I guess that's why I'm the best game reviewer in the world, because I recognize that there is an element of objectivity. There are facts, right? If you don't understand the difference between objectivity and subjectivity, then I don't see how you could ever understand why a game review can't be purely objective. But nevertheless, yeah, I'm obviously still holding on to being laughed at probably 8-ish years ago. So let's move on, Joe. Let's just push through. So there is an element of objectivity to every single game review, in that you are reporting on actual facts. There are factual features. Prey is a game that is played in the first person, right? That's a fact, right? That's objective fact, right? But there are other objective facts to a Prey review. I'm using Prey as an example because it's the first one that jumped to mind. But for example, for a significant portion of people, it was buggy as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wording there might not be terribly objective, but yeah, it was buggy for a portion of people. So when it got a 4 out of 10 from IGN, because it deleted his save game and crashed his computer, that is objectivity, right? Like, objectively, it took down his entire game experience. It's not a subjective, it's not his opinion on what happened, right? It took out his fucking computer, right? That's flat out, right? There is objectivity in that review. So if we were to start off with the objective portions of Ghost Recon Breakpoint and why it's fucking, they need to go back to the drawing board on it. It's holy fuck. I cannot believe how buggy it is. I can't understand it. It's because I don't know if I can say that I played in the beta. Sorry, the alpha. But if I theoretically played in the alpha, it wasn't anything like this. Like, that's fucking crazy. I've played other builds of this game that were nowhere near as fucking janky as Breakpoint was. It was nearly broken. Like, you could get into a game, but it, like, shooting felt like arse because of some sort of weird desync situation that was going on. Despite us, I was the host, so I shouldn't have had any fucking desync as far as I can tell. I don't think it's doing dedicated servers for teams of 4 or anything. I think it's like peer to peer. If it's like Wildlands, it's peer to peer. So yeah, there shouldn't have been desync on my end. You couldn't like revive people. You would go over, you would revive them, and then they would remain in their down state, like consistently, like over and over again. What else? Oh, there were like heaps of collision detection issues, which were mostly with geometry in the world. Like, it seemed to have really good collision detection between players and vehicles and players, which was awesome because the most fun I had was trying to run over the other dickheads in my car. Because, yeah, there was no friendly fire. You couldn't shoot your teammates, but you could run them over. You could, like, create scenarios where they would die. So that's mostly what I did. I largely spent all of my time trying to create scenarios where they'd die. Like, we'd, like, be sneaking up on a location, and then I would start shooting with my silencer off, and then I'd throw a fucking flashbang at the other guys. That usually worked out pretty good. It's a classic, the classic for a reason. Then, they were blind and they get shot to death. And then I couldn't get them back up because of the bug. The transition, I crashed out a couple of times trying to transition between the hub area and the larger world, which was particularly bad in one case because I was a fucking host. That was but I think it migrated the host and I got back in. The crashes took out the entire game, but
For
I was also
everyone.
no. Well, yeah, in that case, in the when I was the host, it did. In the the in other situations, it just boot you back to the menu. But like a
Right.
lot of my crashes were proper crashes. I had one crash that took down my whole PC. Like janky, like real buggy.
Hmm.
Um, and like crashes on there's a hub world because every game is the division now, I guess. And when you go to the hub world, I went and bought some guns, and it crashed on purchase
Hmm.
and took my currency, but didn't give me the weapons when I came back in. So there's some sort of like it didn't give me the money back when I came back in. There's some sort of fucking sync issue there, which is fucked. Yeah, there's all kinds of fucking issues, like heaps of issues. Um, but beyond that, I don't want a division game. I don't want a fucking looter shooter, right? Apparently, the reasoning behind doing another looter shooter is that they found that people found a gun they liked and they stuck with it the entire time in Wildlands, and they want people to branch out and try different weapons.
Hmm.
No, I don't want that. I want to customize the fuck out of like three guns, and I want to go around and be a fucking Ghost Recon badass who is like silently ninja style murdering every motherfucker around. That is the Ghost Recon fucking experience. The division, it makes sense in the division to have a looter shooter because it's not tied to anything beyond the division, and the division has always been a looter shooter,
Yeah.
right? Ghost Recon, my I played the fucking original Ghost Recon. Okay, I am a fucking old school Ghost Recon player, and old school Ghost Recon was basically larger scale Rainbow Six, old school Rainbow Six, where you would customize your weapons, put together a I guess gear package, and then you
Hmm.
go out and you complete missions, and it was more reactive than Rainbow Six, which was like really focused on planning. Uh, Ghost Recon was far more reactive.
Hmm.
Instead, yeah. So you would like, yeah, you'd get your god gun, and you'd go out and I would do like terrorist hunts with the sniper dude, and I'd just fucking find somewhere and I just snipe people, right? Like, or I'd go in with the um an assault rifle and I'd go in and just fucking smash guns, right? Like, and it'd be like a question of like, okay, I got to wait until I can see like six of them before I start shooting because I want to make sure that I can take out a bunch of them all at once.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get myself into a position where I can do that, right? That's the Ghost Recon experience, not fucking looter shooter bullshit. Like you're supposed to be the fucking pinnacle of special forces. And yeah, giving you a fucking telling you, oh, you're in a gear level 150 area, this is extremely dangerous. That's not fucking good. That's
Hmm.
dumb, right? Like it's counter to the entire concept. And I understand that the progression of power needs to exist in games, but they
Sure.
did that really well in Wildlands by giving you objectives to like you had to go do this mission to get like the a vertical foregrip or something, right? Like, go do this mission, you'll get a vertical foregrip. Go do this mission, and you'll get a new sniper rifle. Go do this mission, and you can pick and choose what missions you did
Yeah.
to try to create the build that you wanted. And until then, you'd sort of make do with what you had. That was fine. I thought that was a really good fucking system.
Yeah. And they'd give you
But
like the map would just be here's a bunch of fucking icons and
yeah,
missions, and you kind of just do it the way that you kind of wanted to do it, and then as you did like a certain amount, then it'd open up other like branches to different areas you could go to.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't remember it feeling overwhelming at first, and then over time, as we played it more, it didn't. It just sort of made sense, right? And that was good, right? You felt like you'd learned something about that game world and you progressed mentally, right? Which is, as you know, I've mentioned a billion times, one of my favorite paths of progression is learning more about a game world and feeling yourself leveling up in that way, right? Because that's you as a player improving, not you as a player character improving. I always think that's way better. Not to mention the level 150 stuff. Everyone dies to a headshot anyway, so it's not that consequential. In fact, if anything, it feels like a fucking rip-off. Like, we were in this, like, it's quite early on in the play experience of the beta, but we're in this level 150 area, and we headshot everyone, and they all died, and we went down, and we still got, like, garbage loot, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? I'm like scrounging for anything I can get because I'm in, I'm behind enemy lines trying to get out while fucking John Berenthal is commanding an army of drones to hunt me down and murder me. But I can't pick up the fucking guns off the level 150 guy. Like, that's fucking stupid. That is dumb. I don't like. I've got no problem with them not allowing me to pick up the guns off the bad guys, right? I don't have a problem with that. It's only that they have set the rules, right? They've set the rules. So if it was, if they wanted me to not engage, right, and they didn't have a looter shooter system, right, all they would have to do is only give me a fucking pistol and put an overwhelming amount of men down there. And I guarantee you some people would still have a punt. They'd still, like, try it on. And the really fucking good ones or the cheaters would, like, make it work. And that'd be fucking... Their reward would be the weapons that those dudes have down there or whatever the fuck, right? But because it's a level 150 area and because it's a loot shooter, no. You shoot them all, and the idea is they can kill you in, like, 2 shots regardless of where they hit you, and you're supposed to avoid that fight because you're scared of that. We just shot them all in the head. And then we went down and we got fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Like, that's cooked.
Yeah. I guess that was my concern when we saw the first reveal of it. Like, they completely changed up this, like, loot system, and it just didn't seem like I was confused whether or not this is a Wildlands sequel because people were saying it was a Wildlands sequel. It's like, it doesn't look like it. It looks completely different. So yeah, it's
they got to get rid of whole loot. I'm sure it's too late.
Yeah, it's definitely too late. Yeah,
I don't want to play a looter shooter at all. Like, not a Ghost Recon looter shooter. It's flat out not a game I want to play. We'll probably get it.
We'll play it, yeah.
And I'll play it for the Terminator thing, probably, and that's it. I'll be in it for that, and probably nothing else, because I'm just not interested in chasing loot. I'm not interested in
like we've got the Division. It's strange that they're making Ghost Recon sort of down the same path.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if because I did the multiplayer preview, I didn't see any sort of janky stuff during that. I'm wondering how old this build is that they're running, and whether it's just a technical, just to test out some back end stuff or something. Because it's pretty close to launch, right? It's out in, is it about 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah,
pretty close.
In my opinion, and I know they can't, but in my opinion, they delay and rip all of the bullshit out of this fucking game.
Yeah,
it's
going to have to be gold by now, right? It's got to be pretty close to gold.
Real close to gold. Yeah, but I know I'm not the only person who had this reaction to the closed beta. I know I am not. Like, it's not what I want from the fucking series in general, let alone this particular game. And I think this is poisonous to the fucking franchise.
Sure.
So yeah, in my opinion, it would be a like emergency stop, like hit that big fucking red button situation. It'd be oh fuck, we've fucked up
because I think it's too far.
Oh, 100%. But
because it's tied to the multiplayer as well and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, that's cool.
All right, yo, I'm definitely still like I haven't played it. I haven't seen really much other than that first reveal. I'm definitely interested in seeing what it is. And who knows? Maybe it comes out and it's fine. Maybe this build we're running at the moment is super old and they fix it. They've probably got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people working on this game. They're crunching bugs at the moment, so we'll see. And then we'll see what happens with the gameplay loop. Maybe something ends up drawing us in, or maybe it's just not engaging at all.
Yeah,
we'll see. Like what type of were there missions you could do on that sort of stuff, or was it just kind of?
There were only 3 missions in the beta, and they were okay. They were just sort of regular old missions. We had more fun fucking about in the game world. Like, had a significant, like, it was Wildlands level fun, right? When we were fucking about in the game world, like just goofing about. We got up some just dumb shit. There's some videos up on my Twitter, though you have to dig through like 7 billion fucking tweets to see them because I tweet too much. They're like, we had fun. I was definitely enjoying myself, but I was enjoying my time with friends. I was enjoying, like, it was me and Cleb and Johnny Bravo, and I was enjoying playing with those guys. I was not enjoying the Breakpoint experience. I was enjoying Breakpoint in spite of the Breakpoint experience. Yeah.
And they got the synchronization systems in there and that sort of stuff still? Is that changed at all?
No, that's all pretty good. It does a lot of the Wildlands stuff really well. It just has this thing in it. It's just like, I don't know. They made a spaghetti, right? And they followed the fucking spaghetti recipe, and then they're like, oh, and also there's broccoli in it. You're like, what? Why?
Actually, no. They've made spaghetti and they've changed the meatballs to broccoli.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
But
no, hang on.
It was fine before.
I like meatballs.
Maybe broccoli's a bad example. Because I like broccoli, but maybe if they were like, let's say there was Skittles, because everybody likes Skittles, right? But and like if you were, I'd eat a fucking box of Skittles easily. Yeah. But then all of a sudden they're like, let's take the meatballs out and let's put Skittles everywhere. Everyone loves fucking Skittles.
Everyone loves Skittles. Skittles, look, we have released Skittles in our division. Skittles has been one of our best sellers. The engagement levels are through the roof. People love Skittles. So we're going to put them in our spaghetti. We're going to put them in our spaghetti product, and people are going to fucking love it. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to eat that spaghetti, but at a certain point, I might feel a bit sick.
Yeah. At a certain point, you're going to really question what you're doing. That's good. We just made a fact. Anyway, good times. Not so good times.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that one.
Yep.
All right, NBA 2K20.
Yeah.
It's out.
It is out.
I think it's out. Is it out today? I don't even know when it's out. All these...
Straight up out. It came out last week.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, because everyone does these like ultimate editions where it like Gears of War came out yesterday, I think it was, or today.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, what? Crazy. So I think we both got copies of NBA 2K20. We're obviously big basketball fans. We've been playing the series for a long time. Yep. I've reviewed a bunch of them. I think maybe you reviewed a couple as well.
Yep.
Like officially. I reviewed last year's game and I think I gave it about a 7.5 or a 7, somewhere around there. Had a couple of issues with a few bits and pieces that I'll talk about. But for the most part, NBA 2K20, I actually think I like it more than last year's game.
Really?
Yeah. Have you played any of it at all yet?
Yeah, I played a couple of hours of it.
Yeah.
Just playing quick games in regular basketball mode, not playing my player or anything.
Sure.
Ignoring I'll talk about why in a bit, but I don't know what it is, man. I feel like there's it's not input lag. I feel like it's animation lag or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there is definitely a delay between me, what I want to have happen, and what happens in some circumstances. And it is, I say it's not an input lag because when I'm on the fast break and everything's working as it should, MJ is smashing his lane, and I throw the ball like facing the correct direction, then it's fine. But I feel like if I were to get the rebound and attempt to create my own fast break, right, it doesn't throw a wild throw, right, which I think would be fine. That I'd be okay with, right? Instead, it takes a long time for whoever got them, usually Rodman, got the fucking ball to turn and then throw it, right? And even if it isn't Rodman, even if Steve Kerr got the fucking rebound, he still takes a fucking long time to turn and throw it. Whereas what I'm looking for in that situation when I've got MJ streaking up the fucking court is the fucking quick pass, right? That you
Kevin
see.
Love.
Yeah, the Kevin Love fucking quarterback throw, right? And it's not just there, right? It's also like on the inbound play when you're in their half. I found a lot of times, right? I will streak LeBron away from the fucking 3-point line, and then turn him back in, and even he can't fucking put the snappy pass into the fucking corner for the quick three. Like, I feel like there's something. It's specifically passing, right? And it's definitely animation related, and it is driving me fucking bonkers. Because I did it a lot. Maybe it's just because I did a lot in 2K19. Maybe I'm just mad that I can't exploit something that I used quite a lot of in 2K19. Mm-hmm. But because that does happen, right? You look at other sports games or even any yearly iterative sequel, and you'll always see people complaining that they can't use last year's exploits because they've fixed them. Mm-hmm. So maybe they just fixed an exploit, but I didn't think I was exploiting because it felt like that was how I saw the game played a lot, right?
Right.
That is specifically the Golden State Warriors' favorite style of fucking play is that quick ball movement, the snappy fucking quick shots and all that kind of stuff. That is characteristic of basketball in 2019. So I didn't think it was an exploit, and it just doesn't seem like something I can get done in 2K20, and it's driving me fucking bonkers.
Have you looked at the passing controls to see? Because I generally use the sort of the three buttons, like your to pass, triangle and circle. X is the other one. Cross, sorry. And yeah, I generally use them, but I don't do any of the modifiers that are on them, because sometimes you can do give and goes and things like that and skip passes, but
Yeah, maybe it does.
I
I
don't
don't know if
look at-
those work. I don't know if the modifiers work. Well, they didn't work. I think I couldn't get them to work in 2K19. On the R1, because you got an R1 pass if you're doing the fucking snappy
Like,
throws.
yeah. And I think they've tidied that up a lot because I remember last year I've always had problems with like I'll try to pass someone and it'll skip past to like the person behind them, and I'd be like, oh, that's not who I wanted to go to. Like I wanted to go to this, or like I'd try and pass to someone at the back and
Yeah.
it would pass to the guy in the middle and they get intercepted or something. But I feel like that's happening a lot less this time. It feels like they've tidied up the like the who you're actually passing to. Like the selection seems a bit better. But I don't like
Because
I
of
don't
the animation delay, it's happening to me a lot more.
right.
But yeah, like
I don't know, like maybe just jump into those options and look at there could be like an overhead pass or something that, because I know there's passing for like if you have the ball coming down for a rebound and you hit the pass button before you get the ball, then he'll do like a quick pass, stuff like that.
yeah, right. Yeah,
I don't.
but that like, yeah, I don't know, because like you were saying, I had huge problems with that happening to the wrong person.
Sure, yeah.
And so yeah, I rely pretty heavily on the R1 when I'm trying to force a fast break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal, but yeah, it has. It's made a lot of games that would normally have been blowouts in 2K19 be a lot closer. Yeah, but like that one exception is the only thing that I think is decreased. But it has a large impact on my game in particular. Yeah, it's got to be just an attitude thing. Like every FIFA, they introduce some way of trying to stop people from crossing in from the corner and immediately fucking scoring. So, and everyone fucking complains about it. So it's got to be something like that.
Yeah.
Probably just seeing too many people score in that way or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, that I've only been playing quick games, and yeah, like it looks great. Like on every account, it seems like a top-notch basketball game. The loading times are a bit fucking oof. I don't know what's going on there.
Sometimes I think it's doing a lot of obviously the game is tied heavily on VC and whatnot. I think it's doing a lot of checks on the internet for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're not super long. We're not talking like Red Dead load times or anything like that. But there's some loading in there. At least the thing I really like is that when you're loading something, and they've done this for the last couple of years, is that you can sit there and watch NBA 2K TV. And I watch, like, sometimes it'll be done loading and I'll just sit there and watch NBA 2K TV. The biggest issue with that is that I'm now, like, 3 ways through the same episode of NBA 2K TV episode 1 because I've just been playing so much of it. So it'd be good if there was, like, other stuff that they could have on there. I don't know, but, yeah. I still enjoy that is an aspect of the game that I could sit there and watch, because they talk about,
well, during the regular season it's highlights and stuff, isn't it? I think I'm pretty sure they do highlights. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
All right, that's fine.
I stopped watching NBA 2K TV in 2K19 about a fucking month after it came out. So
right,
yeah, I just like skip. Let's get to the game. So yeah. But yeah, like 2K19 for me was like a killing time game. Like it was literally just I'm gonna fucking, I got half an hour, I'll just fucking play some 2K. Yeah, I don't see 2K20 being anything other than that for me as well. I didn't like my play in 2K19, and I can't fucking make my player in 2K20 because I've tried to make my fucking... I uninstalled the app. I've given up. I'm just going to make a fucking generic dude.
No.
Sorry. Fucking hell. Oh, that was a bad one. You won't have to fucking mute that. Jesus Christ. That was heavy duty. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I tried multiple times. I did the fucking head scan with the selfie mode. I got my wife to do the head scan, which was extremely awkward. Like neither of them worked, and each time it took literally 15 minutes to fucking go through the process of scanning my fucking head all the way, and then
Yeah.
uploading the fucking photos, and then it telling me the fucking photos had failed to upload, and then it telling me that it had deleted the photos, and then I had to start all over again. Not to mention, every time I tried to do it, it would show me the intro video to this year's My Player is better than ever. You're gonna love it. And yeah, it fucking yappity yappity yappity. Oh, I can even do this in My Player now. Shut the fuck up. Unskippable, as I found out. And yeah, just annoying as fuck. So yeah, I'm just gonna play just for one reason. I don't care to play My Player because I didn't get a big VC injection this year, so I know I'm gonna start out at fucking 60 or whatever the fuck. And yeah.
So I couldn't get the app to work either. The first day, it wouldn't even detect my face at all. It was just kind of like no face detected, and I tried on my wife as well to see if it would work for her, and it just didn't pick up anything. And then the second day, it finally started picking up my face consistently, but every time it went to upload and it'd get to like uploading, like finding faces 12 of 13, it'd get to like 13 and then error and say there was a problem with whatever error code. And I've tried it basically every day since then, and just no luck at all trying to get that thing to work. So it still hasn't. I haven't tried it today, but I'm guessing it's still not going to work. So I don't know what's going on with it.
Fucking, when I was trying to do it, right, when I was trying to do it the second time, I accidentally hit a button on the screen or something, and it took me into the card mode of the app, and I could not stop it from tutorializing me on the fucking card thing until I had gone through the entire tutorial, which was a 20-minute process.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I was this close to fucking uninstalling the app right then and there. Like, you fuck. And then I did uninstall it eventually. I got a fucking notification. It's like, you've got cards to open. I'm like, fuck you, I do. Get the fuck out of here.
And I feel like that is why they're not... why can't it pull the data from my last year's photo or like my last year's character or whatever? And I feel like they're doing it on purpose so it makes you install that app. And then it's like, hey, here's this card game type thing. Because I had the same thing where I installed it and then you have to go through that tutorial to play the game for 15 minutes or whatever it is.
It's identical to last year's game as well.
Yeah, it's the exact same game.
Like, the fucking same.
Like I played a lot of that one.
Yeah, me too. And imagine like all your cards are gone, I assume, right? Like, there's no transfer of that. So
no,
if you spent money on it, yeah, that's gone. Like, that's just straight up gone. That is some fucking gross. That's fucking gross. And like, because most websites don't have people who play this shit. I assume it's going to go under the radar. Like, I can't. I pitch a story on this and nobody wants to fucking do it because nobody gives a fuck. I'm not allowed to write about NBA on Red Bull after my stunt a couple of years ago. So yeah, I can't put it up there. Like, yeah, it's fucked, right? Like, it's the sports games are where I feel like publishers get away with so much fucking shit. So much fucking gross shit. They are the fucking training, the breeding grounds for the fucking scum bullshit that's infesting video games.
Yeah.
And NBA 2K is not as bad as FIFA, but
it's still
fucking bad. Like,
I mean,
it's one of those like, Dr. Doom is not as bad as Thanos, but nah, still a bad guy. Still specifically a bad guy. Or
Yeah.
Thanos is not as bad as Galactus, but like we're kind of pulling hairs here. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
Thanos
Nate,
and Galactus is better
was it
than
Nate that sent that article or about like the EA,
that was me.
what's his
Yeah,
name? Jorgensen, the CFO of EA, talking about how they want to inject FIFA Ultimate Team mechanics into their other games like Battlefield and Battlefront and I don't know what
because
the other one was. Yeah, because it makes them so much money.
FIFA Ultimate Team alone made $800 million last year. That's not FIFA, the game. That is literally just that mode made $800 million last year. That is a third of what Fortnite made, which like you put it in those, you frame it that way, and it's like, oh, is that all? Right? That
Yeah.
is 0.8 billion, right? The problem with numbers like that is that mentally we cannot fucking conceptualize how much fucking money that is. Like, you literally can't picture it. You cannot picture what $800 million would even look like what it even equates to. It is staggering. It is what, like fucking 1,600 Ferraris, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy shit.
And the profit they're making on, like, it's not costing them a lot to put these types of mechanics into the game. It's
It costs
really
them nothing.
yeah. It's not a lot.
And like, yeah, they do nothing with it. The reason I have those numbers ready to fucking go is because I was watching a video from an interview with some Aussie FIFA players, and they were trying to get to the bottom of why Australians don't seem that invested in FIFA esports. And they were like, I think, we just don't have football culture, and people don't want to do the grind, because apparently the FIFA Ultimate Team grind to get to the top levels is quite significant. Like, they were talking like 8 hours a day and weekends and stuff. Like, it's a full-time job. No, it's because the fucking FIFA E-World Cup, which is what it all leads to at the end of the day, the major championships, had a $500,000 prize pool, and that is nothing. That is absolute. That is fucking not even a single % of what Fortnite put up, despite FIFA Ultimate Team making a third of what Fortnite did. Like, these kids should be fucking competing for a $33 million fucking prize pool. They should be competing for at least a $10 million prize pool. It would be nothing to FIFA to put up $10 million. And people would fucking play then, I tell you what, right? The other thing is, it's pay to win. It's a pay to win fucking esport. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Oh, you can earn cards by just playing and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Like, if you want to actually compete from the fucking start of a season, you need to invest a fuck ton of money to have a competitive team immediately. Otherwise, you will not earn the points you require to get to the fucking end, except unless you are the fucking Pele of FIFA, right? Like, that's it, right? It's pay to win. So fuck it. Fuck that shit. That's why Aussies don't get involved. That's why worldwide FIFA esports isn't what it should be, right? Because FIFA it's the fucking globe, it's the world game. It's the biggest fucking sport in the world. You would think that the fucking esport version of it would at least come close to Call of Duty, but it doesn't. And Call of Duty is a second tier esport. I mean, like, we might even have to revisit how the fucking tiers work, but it's not. FIFA isn't even a fucking second tier esport. Like, it is down the fucking list. Yeah, we've diverted pretty far from NBA.
So, NBA, even the VC is heavily ingrained into pretty much all of the, not all, but most of the major components of it. Like, it's not in the play now stuff or anything like that, but their biggest mode would be the My Career stuff. My Team is also popular, and you've got the My League, My GM, which is also big. But yeah, My Career is kind of the big one, right? Is where you create these players and you earn VC to level up your characters, which makes them better at the game. But also you can buy the currency to sort of inject into your player again. And then you've got on top of that like all the cosmetic stuff. To buy a T-shirt is like 3,500 VC. There was that uproar. I think it might have been last year where they were charging people to get haircuts as well.
Yeah.
They eventually removed that from the game. They like one of my complaints about last year's review was they literally put a fucking casino in the game. Like you'd walk in there and it was decked out, which is the anti-up room. And yeah, the way the anti-up works is you wager VC, you put it on the table and you play someone else at basketball, and depending on who wins, then you collect the pot.
Which I don't have a problem with, to be honest. I don't have a problem with
straight up gambling.
Yeah, right. That's obviously not good. I don't have a problem with like putting something on the line in a basketball game. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But didn't they like? There's a fucking lucky wheel. There's actual game like casino elements in there as well. There's
so they removed
games of chance.
The chocolate wheel, which was in the front door of the casino. It's not a casino. I call it a fucking casino. It's not there anymore. They've removed it. That was one of the complaints I put in my review last year. Is that like you walk in and it feels like a casino. There's bright lights. There's red carpet. It's decked out in gold. There's a chocolate wheel in the front that greets you. That chocolate wheel's gone now, so you can't do it. I don't know if they've moved it somewhere. I haven't been able to find it, and I've looked online to try and find it, but that place is dead empty now. It used to be a line, like people wrapped around this chocolate wheel waiting to try and get spins. I walked in there, it was completely dead. So yeah, they removed a bunch of that. But otherwise, yeah, VC is definitely like, I'm just not a fan of it. Like you said, it's pay to win. At the end of the day, it's pay to win. Last year when I reviewed it, I didn't get the Ultimate Edition, which came with the bonus VC that you got with the game, which was I think 100,000.
Yeah.
And so I started that game to review it with the early access people, and I couldn't play multiplayer because everybody else is 20 levels above me, and so there's a point where skill doesn't really matter, and there's like a point where that actual character is just too good. Like I can't do anything with it anymore. There's obviously going to be exceptions to that rules. People that are like pro gamers might be able to school the shit out of me on it, but otherwise if you get two evenly skilled players and you give one of them a level 85 character and the other one a level 62 character, the 85 character is probably going to win that game. Well, not probably, they will.
Definitely.
Because they're evenly skilled. And so yeah, that was one of my complaints last year. Like I couldn't even play out of the gate. Everybody was 20 levels bigger than me. For the most part, I enjoyed what they were doing with the My Career storyline stuff. They did that awesome stuff where like you go undrafted and then you go into play in China, and they had Chinese commentators, and like the atmosphere of that sort of stuff was really well done, and sort of like your journey from going through China back to the US and then finally being picked up by a team with like Haley Joel Osment as your, I can't remember, your agent or your friend. He might have been your agent. So like that stuff, it's been a better storyline compared to back when they first implemented this stuff with Spike Lee and his crazy ghost friend that showed up at the end for whatever reason. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed what they did this year. The basic gist of it is you start off as a college player who's one of your teammates gets injured, and they basically like sort of cut him, and he decides that to stand up for this player and leave the college and go pursue a career elsewhere. And then it's sort of like your journey through getting drafted, and you go through the draft combine and summer league and things like that. And so there's not as much crazy things happening in there. Your coach is Idris Elba. Rosario Dawson's in there. somebody from Silicon Valley who I don't watch, but my wife walked in the room and was like, "Oh, that guy's from Silicon Valley," and I was like, "Okay."
What's he look like?
Blonde curly hair, I guess. I don't know.
Kind of chunky?
Yeah. No, skinny dude.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
nerdy?
Yeah, sure. No, I don't know.
Right, okay.
I don't watch it. And so, like, there's obviously NBA players that show up along the way and kind of interact with you and mentor you. It's not super long. Like, I guess the problem there is that if you're the type of person that just wants to play the basketball side of it, it could be a bit long, but otherwise you can skip all that stuff anyway and just get straight to the games. But I really like where they've gone. You remember a couple of years back where I complained about you being a rookie and then playing for Team USA, which made zero sense at all. So dumb. So like they're starting to focus a lot better on that storyline stuff, and it starts to make a bit more sense. So I really like my career this year. I've played a lot of it. I'm about 12 or 13 games into the season. These are all like I jack my quarters up as well. I don't play. I think what's the default? Is it 3 or 4 minutes? I don't know.
Four.
I jack them up to 12 minute, like 4-minute games. 12-minute games. I play the entire, 4 quarters, 12 minutes. So that's it's more interesting for me. Like it feels like you get less game time if you're playing
100%.
shorter games, and so you're getting
it's never scaled correctly.
Yeah. I mean, you do get a salary for playing, which is a decent chunk, but you're owning stuff like badges and VC on top of that as well to level up, and you're unlocking accolades and that sort of thing. And so that's a bit harder to sort of get towards if you're just playing these shorter matches. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the micro stuff. They've streamlined a bunch of stuff in there that I did not like last year, which is not like something that just rocked up last year. It was just the evolution of the neighborhood. That first year they introduced the neighborhood, it was very like maze-like. It was kind of hard to sort of get around, and you'd kind of get lost a little bit. Last year they moved it more to like a rectangle, really easy to find everything you wanted to get to. This year it's basically a very similar layout, or if not exactly the same layout. Looks like easily recognizable. I knew where everything was. What I like about it now is that the gym is streamlined. You no longer have to go to the gym after every game and jump onto an exercise machine or anything like that in order to get bonuses. Now you can just do, it's called like a weekly workout, and once you mark them off your checklist, then once all of those 5 checklists or 5 marks have been complete on this checklist, that's your weekly workout done, and you get your boosts for the week. And that'll like set a countdown on that timer, and you don't have to go do them again, which is really good, because I hated going to the gym after every game and being like, all right, I've got to do push-ups now for 5 or 10 minutes just to get that boost out of my character. Like, you didn't have to, but you got something out of it, so why not go do it? So that's been really streamlined. The training has been streamlined as well. You no longer, like, you can go to training from the main menu now when you're looking at your games, which is really handy, as opposed to going to the neighborhood and then running over to the training facility. So that's something that I really like. They have given you the option now to, when you start off, you sort of given coach drills, and you work your way through those coaching drills, and eventually get to a point where you can go and do your own drills and be like, all right, I want to work on my free throw shooting, or I'm trying to get this specific badge, and I want to go work on getting more points built into that. And so you can go do that sort of stuff. Like if you've gotten all the badges for your shooting, your defense, or finishing, then there's no point, I guess, doing drills for that. You kind of want to go find other things and then work on those badges and whatnot. So yeah, it's a lot better. Sort of like the downtime in between the games, they've kind of sped that up a little bit, which I really like about it. What else was there?
Man, all of this just makes me think that if VC was free,
yeah,
this would be one of the best games ever.
And
Like
that's
it
the
would
problem,
be,
right?
yeah,
They're
it'd be
stuck.
unstoppable.
Because remember when they first put this in there and it was in a menu at the back somewhere that you couldn't find, and now it's just plastered all over the game, and they can't get rid of it because it's their biggest. It's like 2K's biggest game every
Yeah.
year. It just makes them so much money.
But it's so it is like cancerous. It is a cancer on the NBA 2K franchise because the the longer it goes and the more it gets fed, the more it insidiously feeds into every other part of it and it impacts it all. Like the whole game is balanced around VC now, like entirely balanced around VC and the concept of gaining VC. And so everything you do is now like by default fucked because it's designed to make you want to earn more VC or play more of this or whatever the fuck. They're using like psychological tricks to encourage you to, want to play more outside of your normal play habits. When, if VC didn't make them millions of dollars, that wouldn't be an issue. They would want you to play the amount that you wanted to play. They would want you to feel like what you were getting out of the game was a sense of pride and accomplishment, to borrow a phrase from EA. But they would want you to feel like what you were getting out of the game was actually what you wanted to get out of the game, as opposed to now the pursuit of VC is everything. And it's entirely balanced on getting you to play more. Yeah. And so, you don't level up your character as much as you probably should. You can't buy fucking shirts. You can't get a fucking haircut or whatever the fuck, right? Like all of that stuff is utterly cooked. Like if you couldn't buy VC, then wagering VC in a battle against someone else, I think that'd be fucking sick, right? If VC wasn't worth money, then I would.
It was earned,
I would
like
absolutely.
It used to be.
Yeah, exactly. I would put up all my VC that I would beat you in a fucking basketball game, every single day of the week. Maybe not now.
Or...
Yeah, me. No, not in real life, dickhole. In NBA. Maybe not now that my passing is not working at the moment. But once I worked out how to pass again, I would fucking smash
That's
ass.
it.
It's but because it's worth money, it is gross gambling bullshit. It is microtransactions, like predatory microtransactions. It's all this kind of shit that shouldn't fucking exist in a AAA $90 game.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that so one of the main things they've changed this year is the My Player Builder. I don't know if you've had a look at this, but a couple of years back they introduced things like archetypes that you could kind of set up for your character and whatnot. And you kind of choose like a pre-built character and be like, oh, they'd be good at shooting, or they'd be a slasher type archetype or something like that. So this time there's a lot more freedom in terms of what type of character you want to build.
Right.
And now you can be like, all right, I want to max out like all my finishes, and like there's my maximum that I can put. But it's not saying that that's where you'll start, but that's the maximum amount of points you can put in there once you get to 99 or whatever it is. So now you can actually tweak all of those values and set up however you want. It's all very customizable as opposed to some of the other years they've done it.
Yeah.
So that's good. But in saying that, if you get to a point in the game where you don't like the way your character is built, as far as I'm aware, you can't do like a reset. You've got to go and start a new character again. And so there's like another, well, do I want to start a new character, or do I stick with the one that I've already got? So do I want to spend the money to jump back up to where I was before? So maybe that's somewhere they can look at, being able to reset and tinker around with your stats or your player builds or that sort of thing. But I guess that then becomes a problem of maybe people trying to figure out what the like min max certain stats, and because you see that every year with like people going for certain builds of characters and trying to figure out what's the best and what's not. So yeah, that was one thing that I like that they've changed, but it's sort of weighs things up on the other end. Some of the other changes they've made that I really like is the defensive changes are really good. I think they've one of the things I've noticed is they've got a little mark, like an indicator on the bottom of a player now. If you're a really good defender, it'll show you which way the other person that you're defending is going to move. And that just depends on their defensive capabilities. So if someone is going to run to the right, there'll be a little indicator that shows beneath their feet, like which way they're moving and which direction they're going. So it means that you can quickly adapt to their movement, and like step in front of them before they can get around you. So that's like a nice way of, I guess, showing a player's IQ or basketball IQ, like their defensive capabilities, like giving you an advantage over them because you get more, like they're a better defender. And the other thing I like is, and I don't think they've done this before, but the circle underneath them changes when you can steal the ball. I've always been shit at stealing the ball, but now it actually shows you when you should try and steal the ball. Doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get it, but here's a good point to try and go for a steal, and that's good. And that generally works well when you're up against a player who's fatigued or you've probably got a better chance of getting the ball off them. So I'm stealing the ball a lot more than what I have in previous years, because generally I've never like been good at it. So I don't put stats into it. But now I'm like, the game's telling me when it's a good time to try and steal the ball. I'm gonna go try and do that. So that's something that I really like. And I talked about player movement is something they've changed a little bit. They've put a bunch of like dribbling styles in the game now. There's like 20 or 30 different types of dribbling styles. They've got actual like just standard ones they've kind of set up, but they've also got like your all-stars. There's a couple of them in there, like the way that they move and handle the ball. Like you can specifically see the way they do it, and so you can do a lot better dribbling with your left and right stick now using those combinations, which is really good. What else is there that I really like they've changed? I feel like the defensive stuff is what I've noticed the most while I've been playing in the game. But otherwise, like, I'm really enjoying.
You notice there's been I reckon I get there's one illegal screen call a game. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but there's a fucking ton of them.
No.
And I'm not setting the screens either. Like, it's the AI setting the screen, and there'll be a fucking illegal.
Is it Andrew Bogut, the screening?
I reckon I've seen one illegal screen the entire rest of my NBA 2K fucking life.
Yeah.
And I've seen fucking, I reckon, 8 or 9 of them so far in NBA 2K20. I don't know what's going on there. It's fucking weird. There's a fucking lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I've not seen nothing like that. My one of my complaints last year was I'll talk about something else first. The way that you draft in my career, I like it a lot better. You're no longer being like, you're trying to go for the number 1 draft pick. That's like completely scrapped now. There's a draft section, but again, it's like pick your top 3 teams, and these teams are interested in you, and if you get the team you want, then good on you. Because I guess like there's situations where the Lakers are a good example of them not having top draft picks this year, right?
Yep.
And so if you want to play for your favorite team, you can't do that because they're not in the draft picks. And so now it's just like you just pick your favorite teams and you might get into them. So that's what I did this year.
That's pretty cool.
So going back to my complaint from last year was that I was playing as a small forward, and for whatever reason last year, every time at the end of the game, LeBron James was on the bench. Couldn't figure out why, but he would always be on the bench. And meanwhile, I'm playing, and I'm a good player, but also like someone else on my team will be playing who is not as good as LeBron James. Like, LeBron can play fucking 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, whatever he wants to play. He can play point guard if he wants to. Just stick him in wherever you want. It's LeBron James. That's still happening this year. I don't know why. So I'm finishing my games and LeBron James is on the bench while Avery Bradley's playing as a shooting guard with 2 points. And I'm like, why are you on? Yeah, I just don't know what's going on with these rotations. Maybe I can go in and change the coaching settings so that they don't...
I've played a lot of games with the fucking Lakers so far in 2K20, and
they're stupid.
Bradley's fucking... Bradley, like, the bench is fucking...
Oh, it's dumb.
Good.
Because they've got Dwight Howard in there, and you've got Dwight Howard and Boogie Cousins. It's
Boogie's not injured, so...
he's not injured. He actually got injured in my game. He did something to his knee for 2 weeks, and he got out. But Dwight's a beast. Like, he goes off. Yeah, their team in NBA is actually pretty decent. They've got some good players. But that's like, the LeBron James thing, I don't know what is going on with that. This is second year straight I've noticed that. That shouldn't happen.
No.
It's just a dumb, like, you don't have one of the best players in the world on the bench. Or like a 77 or like a mid-70s is like playing shooting.
Well, they call it
loading.
Minute loading, or whatever it is. Yeah.
I want to play with LeBron James, but I can't. Maybe I shouldn't have played a small forward. Maybe I should have picked a point guard or something.
Should have been a point guard.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm really digging my career. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's better than last year. They've tidied up a lot of stuff. I still hate all the VC things that are tied into it.
Yeah.
I tried a little bit of my team today. And my team is the one where you get the cards, like card packs, and you unwrap players and whatnot. I've got a stupid amount of good players at the moment. And then you take those teams, these like fantasy teams, and you put them up into challenges, and you play specific scenarios, or you play against pre-built teams, and you try and get rewards out of them and whatnot. That again, exploitative. A lot of it is tied to earning contracts for players and then loading contracts back onto these cards, or just like buying cards flat out. There's an auction house in the game. So yeah, I mean, I like the idea and the concept of it. I still like playing it, but again, it's still wrapped in money. Like it's not cool.
It's just their version of foot, right?
FIFA
Ultimate Team.
Yeah. WNBA is in there this year. That's awesome. Women's basketball, you can play as any of those teams if you want. Like, it's a really good move. They've added a bunch of extra, what are they? Like Hall of Fame teams, not Hall of Fame teams. What do you call them? Like your Bulls, like your. I think the Miami
legacy teams.
Yeah, those sort of teams.
They're in there.
No, they've added more, like a bunch of extra ones from the last couple of years are in there now. I haven't tried my GM or my league, but I've seen some screenshots of it. It looks like they've changed a lot in that. So I'm keen to jump in and mess around with that one, but haven't had a chance yet because I've just been so like hooked on my career, just playing that every night. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it this year. I think it's really good. I'm sort of amped to see what happens next year with next gen consoles coming and what they do with that and how different that game looks, or if it's just going to kind of be like a step in between and then the next one's going to be a big change. But otherwise, like I would say that if I was reviewing it, I'm not, because the game came too late. I'd probably review it higher this year. Probably not a lot higher, but there's always going to be that. I'm always going to mark it down because of the VC stuff. That's just how it's going to go. I don't like that system, so that's always going to be a negative for me. But I think the basketball in general is a lot better this year. I'm not having those issues last year where I was like setting, like you'd switch on players. Like if someone set a screen, the player would be like switch, and then like you'd go to switch and the other player wouldn't switch. They'd stay on the same. Like I'm not having any of that stuff this year because that drove me fucking nuts last year when I was reviewing it. Because you lose a chunk of your progress because you're telling me to do something and you didn't do it. It's super frustrating. That's not happening this year, so that's good. Overall, not as annoyed this year in the gameplay. Like I'm not finding stuff where I'm like, this is really pissing me off. I've not had like any of those moments this year, which is really good. So I don't know, man. I'm really enjoying it. So
Cool.
I think it's a good game.
Red.
Gears of War, or sorry,
Gears 5.
Gears 5.
Gears 5. Yeah. I can't bring myself to go back to the campaign. I just fucking hate it. But I was saying last week that I try out the other modes, and we tried out the other modes over the fucking across the Pacific. We played some Escape and we played some Horde, and Escape's pretty disappointing, to be honest. Yeah, like it's underwhelming. Hey, like I expected more, a lot more than what it was, but yeah, it was just sort of bleh. You sort of go through, like, it's not as dynamic as I thought it was going to be. Like, the maps seem pretty stringent, like pretty structured. Like, you're just sort of going through the same sort of areas over and over again, even when you
just
play.
Looks like a different paint job.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, it's a different paint job, and the only thing that's dynamic is the enemy layouts, but even they're not that varied. You've still got a pretty pretty even power build as you find more and more stuff. You start off with with just a pistol, and you go around and you got to try and get a weapon, and you've only got like fucking 6 bullets, so that's a bit of a challenge or whatever. But then you go out and you fucking get more guns. Probably the biggest challenge in it is like having enough fucking bullets. But
management.
Yeah, like once you've mastered that, you bump it up a difficulty level, and then slightly more complex ammo management. But roughly, that's about all there is to it. Like, it just doesn't seem there's not really any depth to it, because the layouts are roughly the same every time with like a paint job, and there's different enemies. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't fucking matter. You've got a slightly longer way to go for the difficulty ramp up, but who cares, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Fuck it. Just fucking, you do what you got to do. It was like, there were some hairy moments and mildly exciting stuff, but like,
I mean, even the map layouts aren't interesting. They're just so bland, and like, it's a fucking corridor with a couple of like cover pieces for the most part, and that's where I was kind of disappointed. Is I thought it was going to be more like the Division, their Horde mode, where it was like, and this is basically this is sort of their idea. They've tried to do something similar, like, oh, it's moving Horde mode, but theirs is done so well with like getting points and then unlocking other areas that give you different weapons, and then enemies getting harder, and then like the actual levels having like verticality and that sort of thing. And this is just literally a corridor you're running down with gas chasing you. I like that idea, to try and make you like hurry along and that sort of thing, but it's just the levels, and they're not interesting, or the gameplay mechanic is not interesting at all.
It's just kind of like a waste of time, really. Like, I think Nate was the one who said it. Like, he was looking at his stats. He's like, did we really fucking play 7 chapters of Escape? And I'm like, and he's like, I am fucking embarrassed for us. He was like, how could we waste that much time? It turns out chapters are, oh my god, fucking hay fever, man. Fuck. Do you get hay fever in San Fran?
Not yet.
Not yet? Like, you would have dodged it, right? Like,
maybe.
I think he dodged it this time, because I know you used to get it fucking horrible.
Oh yeah, I got boxes of tablets I take.
Yeah, me too. But it's still not enough, right? Like, I think I need more tablets or something.
I also got 2 cats, so that doesn't help.
That's true. But the chapters are, you got 2 chapters per run, and when you up the difficulty, it adds an extra chapter on. So we did 7 because we did extra difficulties. Anyway, so that was just fucking dull. Horde mode, on the other hand, Gears 5 Horde mode is best in class. It's the best version of Horde I have played, assuming we're not counting Left 4 Dead as a series, as a Horde game, which I'm not. This is the best I have ever seen Horde mode.
You didn't play the Division though, did you?
No, I didn't play the Division.
I think that one's better.
Really?
Because I like the idea of you moving to different areas and like spending points to get upgrades or different weapons and things like that.
That sounds more like COD Zombies to me. Horde mode is plonking down in one spot and fighting off everything you can.
Yeah. I mean,
whereas
this is...
COD Zombies is that sort of progressively more challenging, like unlocking more areas, constantly moving type stuff, like buying new weapons and buying the items you need to power up and all that kind of stuff. That definitely sounds more like COD Zombies to me.
I think there's less like running, sort of kiting in the Division stuff as well.
Right.
I don't know. To me,
it's a less mobile game, right? Like,
yeah, but like, what have they done that's different in Horde mode this year?
In Gears 5.
Yeah.
I just think it's like with all the enemy types, and you know I don't really remember Gears 4 Horde that well.
We definitely play. Oh, I played some.
We 100% played it because it was a fucking 100 gig download. I remember that. And I downloaded it specifically for Horde mode. But yeah, the addition of like Jack and the different enemy types and like the sheer amount of stuff that you can do makes it really feel like a tower defense game that you are like boots on the ground in, which I think is, in my opinion, you know, what the promise of Horde mode has always been. You know, that it's always been to sort of reach for the stars is a tower defense game that is as good as tower defense is. Yeah. And I think Gears 5 Horde comes real fucking close to that.
Sure. I just don't think they've changed the formula enough to, like, it feels like last year's, except they've changed. Now there's roles people have. That seems like the only significant change, and
I think that's huge.
I mean, it's not a big deal. It just means now that, like, you can't build stuff anymore. Now this other person can build stuff. Like, I'm a tank. I have no fucking clue what that means, other than I can buy perks.
Your ultimate charges when you take damage.
Right.
Assault class ultimate charges when they do headshots, I think.
Yeah.
Like, assault and tank, yeah, those classes are pretty useless, but there's support and there's engineer, and those are pretty fucking interesting. Support is Jack, obviously, the robot. I 100% guarantee you that we would have lost that fucking... We would have failed at literally at level 50, at round 50, if we didn't have Jack. Yeah. Like, no, I think it's a brilliant way to change shit up, because it makes you like really rethink what you're doing in the game. Like, it took us a while to fucking work out, but like it was fucking exciting, and we worked it out, and like we put it together. Like, it was long, definitely. What I'd like mostly is when you make a custom game and you set it up. I would like, and you started on wave 25 or 30 or 31. I would like an extra fucking minute to actually put stuff together, because if you'd spent the entire fucking hour and a half to get to round 30, you would have successfully set up your base correctly. But instead, it gives you fucking 60,000 credits, and it's like, try and spend these in 10 seconds, dickheads, because fucking robots are coming. Yeah, you're like, it's like, fuck you. Try and skip some waves, you bitch. And then you're like, oh god. Yeah, you haven't got a fucking hope of setting anything up in time.
No, especially when like you're running around and trying to pick up all the leftover sort of points that have fallen on the ground, and then also go to the excavators, whatever the hell they are, and use those. Yeah, the taps. Yep. And just the downtime seems to, like, maybe if there was a system in there that you could initiate, like at the start of the game, where it's like press the button to start the wave, but maybe there was more time or something like that. So that you could start strategizing a bit more. Yeah, it's can be a bit rough sometimes.
Puts you in a precarious position from the outset. But playing from level 1 is fine. You just have to be prepared to spend 3 hours playing the fucking game.
Yeah, that was not what I expected to happen.
But it's good fun. Yeah, I loved it. So I played as Jack, who is if you know Gears, he is Gears 5. You don't. He's a robot. He floats around. He can't shoot. He can't pick up, or he can pick up guns. But he can't wield guns. He picks up guns to deliver them to other people, or to put them into the gun forge to break them down for points. His primary use is to heal people, to tase enemies because they get stunned,
Yeah.
unless they are like large, like super large. If they're massive enemies, then it doesn't fucking matter. He sort of very slowly damages them. So heal people, tase enemies, and to repair shit. His literally a stay on base and make shit happen, like fix shit up, keep everything going. Class. He's invisible, or he goes invisible when he's not being attacked or attacking. When he sprints, he's not invisible either. He has an ultimate ability that allows him to take over an enemy.
Yeah.
But not a massive, only of a certain size. And
can you do that from, like, is it a certain distance? Like, could you do that sitting in
you got to be
cover?
pretty close. You got to be pretty
So
close.
can you get shot while you're
he goes invisible
in the other person? Oh, okay.
And what else? I think that's about it. Yeah, heals, repairs, takes over an enemy, and doesn't need to use the same pathways as everyone else because he sort of floats over shit. Sure. So yeah, he's quite mobile, but yeah, his damage output is abysmal. And yeah, he's a fascinating additional character for them to add to the mix, because he really changes the way you think about how you're playing. Like when we were first playing, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing because I decided to be Jack as a fucking joke. And by the end of the game, having Jack was literally saving our fucking bacon, like critical to our success, because he very quickly heals. He's able to sort of scoot past enemies to get the res up, quickly repairing shit. The only problem that Jack has is that for some reason, as far as I can tell, he doesn't draw from the. He only uses his own repair units to, like, he can only spend his own units, his own credits on stuff. He can't spend from the
fabricator.
Yeah, he can't spend from the fabricator's amount, which means that he really desperately needs to basically hoover up any excess fucking points. And that's fine when I'm talking to you and Nate, because we're in Discord together, but we've got 2 other people playing with us, and they are just running over and getting as many credits as they can, so they can.
But does that work the same with the engineer class for repairing?
No. The repairs for the engineer seem to go straight out of the fucking fabricator.
Yeah, I don't know how my tank stuff works as well. If it's just out of my own pocket, or
what tank stuff?
Well, the tank has perks you can apply. Or
they don't cost anything.
No, they do.
Do they?
Cost you to level up. Cost you points to level up.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, no, I think that comes out of your own person.
Yeah.
If it's like Jack, that's out of your person.
Yeah.
But no, it's it's a really cool idea. And yeah, we literally, so it's 50 waves. Horde mode goes for 50 waves, and we got to wave 50, and all 4 people All four other people except for Jack went down, and it was up to your old pal Jobo as Jack to go and res everyone, and I got everyone back up, and I got fucking I killed a big fucking bad guy that was fucking everyone. Took over a fucking dude with the chainsaw, the saw blade, circular saw blade shooting gun, whatever the fuck that's called. I can't remember. The Ripper, I think.
Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw. I took over a Buzzsaw elite guy, and then I walked him into the fucking water when I was just about to finish, so he'd immediately die. Like, I was all over the place. Got MVP in round 50. We finished. We won. I got fucking 8 levels with my boy Jack.
A lot of levels, yeah.
Yeah. It was fucking epic. It felt like it was an awesome time.
It took us about 30 levels to figure out how to upgrade anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was rough. Because you got to pick it up and then press R. Not like as an engineer, because we played a couple of games later, and I was playing as an engineer instead. And as an engineer, none of that shit is intuitive. Like pressing Z to pick shit up again and R, and like fucking the keyboard layout for that shit is dumb. Like just real dumb. So yeah. It's a really good PC port in a lot of ways, but yeah, it's clearly mapped for controls, and they're like, oh, we're gonna put it on keyboard, and they're like, just fucking, I don't know, just fucking
all the icons.
have your hand in a fucking keyboard.
Like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. No, it's fucking rad. I loved it. I love it to bits. Like, I will continue to play it, and it seems to work. I don't know what it's like for you, but it seems to work pretty well across the pond.
It was working well. I think the problem comes to when we turned up the difficulty.
Right.
I felt like I was dying super quickly without realizing I was getting hit. Like I'd get hit and then like immediately go down, and I don't know if that was like a lag thing where I just
like. No, there was something fucky with that map, eh? I don't think we won't do that map ever again. They were shooting me through cover a lot. Like,
but I would just go down like instantly. I felt like
So I think what was happening is you were getting shot while you were in cover, because they were I don't know, they had some mythical angle, and it would super bullet you. You know how Battlefield used to have that problem with the super bullets, where a little bit of desync could mean all the bullets would come at once.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening.
Or because you're the host, on my end, I feel like I'm getting shot, but on your end, I'm actually already being shot at. And then by the time it registers that I'm being shot at, I'm down. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because that happened a lot on that harder one where I'm like, I can't even move. Every time I get like, I feel like I'm getting one shot every time I pop out. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was.
I mean, the other thing is we were doing it on a harder difficulty and we only had fucking
3 people. Yeah. I've got all that footage I can put up.
Nice. It was fun. The AI, awful. Abysmal.
Those robots, man, I fucking hate them.
Oh my lord, they're fucked. Like, those robots combined with having fucking garbage weapons and not having upgraded any of your perks or anything.
Yeah.
Like, oof.
And only 3 of us.
Yeah. And yeah, being 2 people down. Big yikes. But yeah. Anyway, I think we got like our starting sequence pretty well down pat. We were able to get through a couple of levels. It was just you just get minced again as soon as you ran out of fucking ammo, and you weren't able to we weren't able to really cycle through the ammo very well, because normally you'd have at least one person like at least getting some guns into the fucking weapons locker. But yeah, we just didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, it's just hard with 3 people. You're missing 2 people, and it's a lot of damage.
And, I don't know if you were doing perks at all, but I wasn't. So I know we were definitely taking more damage than we probably should have been.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the other thing was my audio, my headphones kept cutting out. I don't know why.
Oh, that's
weird.
weird.
I've not had any problems while we were playing, and my audio just kept cutting out the entire time. I don't know if it was like a Wi-Fi issue, but whatever. So I've been playing the campaign as well.
Oh, yeah.
I started the campaign. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like, again, it just feels like more gears to me. Like, there's nothing sort of new that they've introduced. other than the open worldness of those areas, like the hub worlds, but they don't really add a lot to the game. It just feels like there's some side missions and you're kind of just doing the same things you're doing normally anyway. It's just killing a bunch of stuff and finding things, like fetch questy type of stuff. And it's like, all right, now you're in the ice area, now you're in the desert area. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't...
No.
Like, I got NBA, and I'm, like, more than happy to keep playing that. Like, at the moment, I'm not interested in going back to Gears 5 campaign.
Yep.
It just hasn't really connected with me. I just don't really care about story that much, so...
I actively hate half the characters.
Yeah. Like, you look at... all you need to do is look at the way that God of War reinvented itself last year, and then, like, what has changed in Gears over the years? Like, it's basically the same. It's a cover game, like, and
it's a cover shooter with burly dudes doing machismo, grunty bullshit, and then, like, Gears 5, the biggest set pieces happen in cutscenes. It's like, well, of what I've played, happen in cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, maybe down the track, the big ones, but this is Gears 5. You're supposed to start big and build to something crazy, not fucking start me back, like reset me back to fucking nothing and then build to the same big thing that I've seen in fucking
every game.
Gears, the previous Gears. Yeah.
The active reload system, like, that needs to change. I don't know why it's still up in the corner of the screen. That is such a disconnect for the player of being, like, taking your eyes off of the action and looking at the top right hand corner of the screen and trying to nail that sweet spot and then looking back at the action again. It just feels like such an old, outdated system of, like, there's better ways to do that. And they haven't even tried. Like, that could be like how Control does, like, the ammo system below the crosshair. They could do something similar, or have it, like, in your peripheral. Like, There's no reason why I should have to move my eye line to the corner of the screen and take my focus off the action just so that I can get, like, the active reload correct. Obviously, you're going to get to a point maybe where you don't have to do that anymore, and you'll know it by just the timing of it. But the weapons, they're all different. All the weapons are different. They're not in the same spot. Some of the weapons take longer to reload. Some of them don't take as long, like the submachine guns. And it's just like after how many? This is sixth or seventh game in the series, and it's still in the same. It's still in the same spot. They haven't changed it at all. I think the only change they've made is that now, when you do the active reload, it does it for all the ammo instead of whatever was left in the chamber. Because that was a thing, right? At some stage, and that's being changed now. Now it just does it for all the ammo.
No, it's timer based.
Oh, it's timer based. Yeah, that's what that little thing is. So I'm just like, they just haven't. Like, that's a very small change they've made. Like, think of a better way to implement that system so that my focus is not taken away from all the cool shit that's happening on the screen, rather than looking at the top right-hand corner. It's so
And
tough.
I think that was a fine system when we were playing in 720p, you know?
Sure.
But now we're all playing in fucking 1440p. Like, it just doesn't work anymore. Like, there's so much more. It's squished further out. Like, when my screen was fucking this big and it took up fucking a tenth of it, fair enough. But now it's taken up a fucking 25th of it. It's a significant distraction. I don't have that big a problem. Like, I surprisingly still have the fucking muscle memory for the Lancer. I hit it without even fucking thinking.
I mean, you can definitely reload it at the right spot, but there's always that little sweet spot you want to try and get as well.
Yeah, that's the active reload. Yeah, I can still hit that without even looking on the Lancer. I've not had any problems with that. I don't think that changed at all. But like with the other weapons, you pick up fucking other weapons and you're like, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to watch this one. Yeah.
I just think that could do with a overhaul. Like, there's better ways to have that hard, like, implemented on the screen a bit better. It just feels like Gears of War again, and they haven't really pushed the series in any like meaningful direction.
Yeah.
Even things like at the start of the game, they do this tutorial, and it looks like, I don't know why there's a tutorial in there. I wish you could skip it. I don't know if you can, but I couldn't fucking. It just chucked me straight into a tutorial. But like, why is that not implemented into the game? Why do you have to put me into like an actual tutorial of like,
boot camp, right?
yeah, it's so disconnected from everything else.
I skipped it.
So that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think
it's one of their 5 modes as well.
No, it's definitely not.
No, but they're boasting about having 5 modes, and the 5 modes are
a boot camp,
escape, horde, PvP, campaign, and boot camp. Fucking
yeah.
Yikes.
I like that there's a previously on Gears, like to catch up on the story. It's obviously been a couple of years since that's happened, and so my memory is not the best, but
fortunately,
like I can remember
don't
that like
care about the story.
There was a cliffhanger with the queen and whatnot, and the grandmother and that sort of thing. Like I know that stuff, but the intricate details that they kind of tell you in that is really good. But yeah, I'm the game's fine, but I mean you've released this this is a tentpole release for Xbox, and I expected more from them. I don't agree with the review scores that are out there. I would have probably given it a lot lower than what it is. I think it's a fine game. It's not an 8.5. Like this is the scores that Control was given. I would give, I don't know, I think Control should be higher than an 8.5 personally, if you're giving Gears an 8.5. So yeah, that's just weird for me to sort of draw those two comparisons. Like,
all right, Control, buddy, let it go. Just let it go, okay? Don't get upset about Control. Oh my god.
So yeah, I just don't think Gears 5 has done much to sort of advance the formula or do anything different to what they did last time around. Or
you were pretty quick to discount some of the fucking changes to Horde mode, though. To be fair, you know the class system is pretty good, and Jack is pretty great, and you're just like, nah, fuck it. This COD Zombies mode in Division,
like more stuff with the building or like more options or anything like that. It's just this seems like it's all the same crap again.
Yeah. It's similar, but like like that's the formula. That's how it fucking functions. Like,
but update the
Escape
formula.
should have been
the same since like two or three.
But like, tower defense operates the same as it always has. Like,
what I'm saying is, where's my Horde Battle Royale, Joab? That's what I want.
What I'm saying is, why is Dota 2 still a MOBA when it should have evolved into something else by now?
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
all right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That is it.
Should we do some news?
Let's do some news.
Trials Rising is headed to Australia with the Crash and Sunburn DLC. $18 Australian, $12 USD. Who named this DLC? Was it Australia or was it someone else?
I don't know. Maybe it's in honor of you, Crash. Hey,
maybe. Yeah.
My sunburn.
A little bit.
I'm not that like I'm a bit pink. I did marry a ginger, so I've got a different idea of what sunburn looks like.
Maybe she is. So this is a question I asked them when we first played it. Like, look at this giant world map you've got here. Why is Australia not on it?
Ooh.
And now we know why.
Now we know. Or maybe they just panicked and implemented it because you asked them.
I said so.
Yep. I fell off on Trials Rising pretty quick, to be honest.
Right.
I thought I'd
because it got grindy towards the
it did
part.
Yeah. Which is disappointing, but yeah. I'll go back in and check this out, I guess.
See if we can get it. I thought I read this was part of the Uplay Plus, possibly the DLC. Not 100% sure, but from what I understand, like all their games are in Uplay Plus. That's what Nate was saying, right?
Yeah. So it's basically just any game.
And that's so. Was it $15 a month, Australian?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh shit!
But you can get in the free like trial period. I was trying to think of a different word to trial because we're talking about a game called Trials, but it is a trial period. So yeah,
$15 a month. That's
I'm just watching
nice.
this trailer.
Yeah.
This looks... A lot of it looks real similar. Like, a lot of the backgrounds and stuff don't look all that
Okay.
different. You know? Oh, okay.
Is there no
we're getting
rock?
some interesting parts now, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just looks pretty fucking trialsy, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
Trials fans, get into it.
Joker, go. I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator.
Yep.
Is that the name of the whole thing?
That is the name of the game. KFC is making a fucking dating simulator, and I think we've got to play it. Like, even though
Who's
I
publishing it?
explicitly hate dating simulators as a genre, it is being created by PsyOp and is being published by KFC.
Right, but how do we get a code? Is what I'm saying.
It's
Do we
free.
actually have to call? Oh, it's free.
It's free, and it'll
okay.
be out on
Cool.
Steam on the 24th of September. Yeah. I reckon we got to chicken challenge it. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Do you have a KFC near you?
It's a good question.
It'll be
I don't
that
know.
shitty American KFC too.
Yeah, I've had KFC here once before, but this one might be better. Like I've had LA KFC, I think,
Right, and it was garbage.
which it was garbage. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and find some. Oh, there's one nearby. It's a 2.9 rated.
Cool, great.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
Meanwhile, my local KFC is still fucking terrible, but like good food. Like they're terrible at their jobs, but
Right.
they're still delivering high quality KFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Professor Dog steps in to settle the class down and set some ground rules. There's a lot to unpack here. Hey, I'm excited. I'm excited to eat KFC and play this game.
Yeah.
There was already a KFC game that I tried to play before this episode, before we recorded. It's an Oculus game, and it's a training simulator, but it's more like a KFC escape room. So I downloaded Revive so I can play Oculus games, but it's not 100%. It doesn't fully allow you to play every single game that needs to be supported, and unfortunately the KFC game was not supported, so
Right.
couldn't play it. Gutted. Apparently it needs full room scale anyway. There's no way to move except you move, so it probably wouldn't work in my room anyway. And I was looking into it. They made a romance novel as well, a KFC romance novel.
Cool.
Yeah. So, if you were all the way in, you could probably read some of that.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to. Here, I got some excerpts. He was tall, dressed like a sailor with a striped linen shirt and woolen peacoat crushed with sea salt. His hair was light and fair, framing his head in airy curls, and the eyes that stared back at her were almost the exact color of the sea. It's pretty good. And apparently it's not erotica. To call their affair passionate was an understatement. Sometimes it seemed as though the two of them had made love to each other, and they tried to do so at every given opportunity. Their eyes would meet the instant he walked into the tavern, as if they could feel each other. In that instant, a spark would light and grow quickly into a raging inferno deep within them. There's not a lot of KFC shit in here. I'm disappointed by the complete... where are the chicken analogies? Yes, I'm a colonel. Yes, I'm fabulously rich. I am a magnate rather, of the restaurant industry, my dear. The king of an empire that I built with my bare hands. All right, so at least there's some reference to KFC. Apparently the colonel himself was not a fan of what KFC became, but nobody gives a fuck, you fucking old bitch. Fuck you, you old bitch, Colonel. Anyway, that's it.
That's
next.
The iPhone 11 was announced with a bunch of different models, but on top of that, the important thing is Apple Arcade is launching next week,
Right.
and we've got it for $4.99 USD, or it seems like unconfirmed pricing in Australia is $7.99 at the moment.
Right.
This is their video game subscription service where you pay a monthly fee and you get a selection of games to choose from, upwards of over 100, I'm hearing.
Yeah, and I guess, because of the nature of how they play, they won't be microtransaction filled or anything, right? Like, so
yeah,
it's not a bad idea. If you're using the old iPad as a babysitter, which I know my little brother does, loves. Exit the Gungeon is coming to Apple Arcade as well, which is the sequel to Enter the Gungeon, which obviously we've talked about on this before, which is pretty cool. But yeah, be interesting to see how that impacts the mobile games world, like the landscape. Maybe we'll be able to find more games that we can play instead of just Empires and Puzzles and Cookie Clicker on Android.
No.
It's like a neutered version of Cookie Clicker. It's nowhere near the full thing, which is disappointing, I find. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm well gutted.
No, thank you.
Just
Not
fucking
again.
get it.
Next one is Remedy details controls post-launch roadmap. I think we should put a spoiler warning on this one. If you've not played Control,
and you're interested in playing it,
yeah, and you're very interested. If you have not played it, I definitely recommend. I think we both recommend play it.
yes.
Jump forward 2 minutes because we're going to talk some spoilers for Control coming up. Because this is detailing like what's coming up for them in the next 6 months, I guess, maybe longer. So, you've been warned. Please definitely skip forward. Photo mode is one thing that's coming out, which I guess we've already seen sort of that in action with what Lance has been doing on hacking the game. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely keen to see what people bring up with that. It's like we've said, maybe one of the prettiest games we've seen this year. The way it uses ray tracing,
yeah.
Or just like the PC version. Yeah, the PC version's like amazing.
Yeah,
it's extremely good looking game. They've got a new game mode coming out called the Expeditions, and this sounds like sort of like the challenges that you're given throughout the game.
Yeah.
Where it's like go hunt down these certain people. I didn't do a lot of them. Sounds like you did a bunch of them while we were talking about the review.
Yep.
And so I don't sort of know what
that
will
easy.
entail. Yeah. And I guess the cool thing about that is that you'll be with the security chief. And that was the dude. Was that the guy at the Panopticon? Because
Yeah. No. At the Panopticon? No, he was at the power plant, and he went back to the central whatever the fuck.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah, he was downstairs in one of the rooms. Not downstairs, but he was in the... Anyway.
Yeah, he was in the main area.
Yeah, he was in that big, giant area in one of the rooms. All right. So, yeah, it seems like there's going to be another mode for that coming out. And they're detailing 2 expansions, which will be a paid expansion. One of them is called The Foundation, which will sort of look at the history of the old house. And it sounds like that will be coming in towards... Is it the end of the year?
Yeah. Seems that way.
Yeah, quite soon. But it's the second one that's, I guess, what people are talking about. It's called AWE. It's the second expansion. It'll be coming out next year. And you'll be investigating a new area of the house called the Investigation Sector. And it's a location where they examine AWEs, or altered world events. The reason this is important is because Alan Wake is tied to an Old World event, and the box art or the sort of teaser art that they've got in there is basically Alan Wake and Jesse together. Well, not together, but it's split between the two. So it's the Alan Wake logo, and so there's obviously a lot of teasing in Control about Alan Wake and them being in the same universe, and that's pretty much all but confirmed after playing through the game.
Teasing, yeah, it's explicit.
It's in there. Yeah,
they're linked.
They're linked. The two games are linked, and now it looks like we're possibly getting some sort of DLC which ties into Alan Wake.
So hang on, just to clarify, both expansions are next year.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, end of this year there'll be a new game plus mode, I think.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe no, just the expeditions and end of this year. Anyway, yeah, no, Alan Wake, which is huge, right? Like, they're going all in on it. I mean, it's not the sequel that you were hoping for, but yeah, we were dancing around it. And I'd still love to do a spoiler cast when you're all set up, but yeah, like, I think it's fucking awesome, to be honest.
Nice little teaser for them to get people excited, because it's definitely worked. And like, they didn't even mention anything. It's just kind of something they put in a little picture. All you need to do is look at it and be like, all right, cool. Yep. So I'm definitely keen to see what they do with that. But anyway, more to come on that one. And next up is the Intel World Open. This is a story that you wrote about.
Scooped a bit. Intel World Open is a tournament happening next year, just like literally the day before it finishes the day of the opening ceremony for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and it is Intel bringing essentially esports to or adjacent to the Olympics. So they're bringing Rocket League and Street Fighter. It is going to be, I believe, the largest prize pool for a tournament, a Street Fighter tournament. Like just for a Street Fighter tournament, because it's 250K. And yeah, usually you don't get that kind of money out of Street Fighter, which is massive. It's going to really encourage people to put their, do their best at Street Fighter, which is fantastic. I was talking to ROF, who's a player for Order, and he's like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know why there isn't more money in Street Fighter. Well, now there is, champ. And the other one is Rocket League, which I've been saying for a long time is probably the biggest and best chance that esports has for bridging the gap, because it's so easy to pick it up. Yeah, exactly.
Or even I don't know, man, like just general sports, FIFA or basketball, NBA, stuff like that. Like I know that is the Overwatch League running at the moment? Because every time I look at my TV guide, it seems to be on a certain channel at some stage during the day.
Yeah, I think it's running. Yeah,
it's on sports channels over here at least. So
right,
that's obviously a harder game to watch, but yeah, like a sports game, man. NBA 2K. FIFA?
No.
I guess then you get the people being like, why don't they just play the actual game? Just show me the sports balls.
And they're both pretty pay to win. I don't think NBA is universal enough. FIFA, yeah, objectively pay to win, so fuck it. Yeah. Anyway, it's cool. It's just a cool fucking thing. $500,000 for some players. They're doing qualifiers early next year. They're doing a second qualification event at IEM, not IEM Katowice, but it is in Katowice at around the same time IEM Katowice is on. So, but they were explicit that it's not related to IEM. I don't know why. Whatever. And yeah, then the finals at Tokyo 2020. It's cool. Anyway.
Cool.
Yep.
And the last thing on here I just put while we're here, it's not really news related. Today's Friday. I guess by the time this comes out, Borderlands 3 is out today. And we haven't talked about it.
Right.
I guess there's a reason why. We don't have it.
We don't have it. And a lot of people are assuming it's some sort of insidious attempt by 2K to control the messaging, but I don't think that's what's happening. I think, there might be a little bit of that, but it hasn't seemed that way to me. Like, it seems more like it's just they didn't have the codes available, and they had to go with the Epic Game Store login situation. They had a limited amount of Epic Game Store logins, so they did it that way. Like, obviously, it would have been better if, it's not like Epic Game Store isn't capable of doing pre-release content, because we did that with recently. Control and Ancestors, yeah. But clearly they weren't able to do that for whatever reason. So I don't think it's insidious. I think it's just some sort of fucking logistics fuck up, which doesn't make it okay.
No.
But it does sort of, I don't know. It's always, people are very quick to blame on evil, what they should probably just blame on incompetence instead. By all accounts, it's getting good reviews from people who like Borderlands as like the Borderlands formula. From people who don't like Borderlands or don't like its style of humor or sense of humor, they certainly aren't enjoying it. That's not unexpected, in my opinion. Right? That's sort of how games based on humor work, right? Like, if you don't like the humor, then you're not going to like the game.
Or just the style of the game. Like people that complain about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And be like, well, all right, you don't like Call of Duty. Fair enough.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks for letting everyone know.
Yeah. Like, for me, I want to know what people who like Call of Duty think of the next Call of Duty, right? Like, that's valuable information.
Sure.
But that's not to say that there's no value in hearing what people like. You need that point of view.
Sure.
It needs to be expressed. Because you need, as much information as possible to make a sound purchasing decision. Right?
Sure. Yeah. As opposed to, like, if somebody likes Borderlands 3 and they come back, they like the Borderlands series, then come back and say, here are my issues with Borderlands 3, then that is fair criticism. But if there's something you don't like and you're reviewing it, then there's not really much anybody's really getting out of that.
It'd be like if you didn't like South Park, right? I don't really see what you'd get out of the South Park game. Right? Like, an RPG. Like, the RPG elements don't transcend the sense of humor that you explicitly don't like. So I'd say probably skip South Park. But we all know that, right? We all inherently know, I didn't like the last 9 seasons of South Park, so I'm not going to watch season 10.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it doesn't carry across the games. Everyone expects it to somehow fucking magically change. I don't know. Anyway, we will have played it, and we'll talk about it next week. Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully, we've got a copy by now.
we will absolutely have a copy by now. I've got they sent me some goodies and stuff, like some swag. Not that I don't really care. I just want to play the game. But
are you going to wear it the entire podcast next week?
No.
Did you get a face mask?
No. But I've got like 4 of the fucking things already. Like,
there you go. Next week.
I've had this fucking ages.
Jobalands.
I don't know what this is doing to the audio. Fuck. Shouldn't throw things. Anyway, that's it.
Cool. All right. There's some reasoning for you.
That's it.
All right, that's it.
Behind the curtain. All
That's
right, we got
the
a question.
We have a question. What's the question?
Johnny Bravo writes, "Hey gents, now that Luke has the power of a North American audience, when is he gonna bust out the low-cut tops, show some cleavage, and get that dirty streaming money?" Well, Luke.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Maybe I'll do some streaming when I actually move into my proper apartment.
A house? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not a bad idea.
Yeah. And
Not
once
a bad
my
idea.
internet's all set up and I have maybe good internet. I still don't know what it's going to be like. So could be shit internet and I'll be fucked.
It's a fair worry.
Yeah.
Should definitely stream though. Should stream like now time for you, right? Like when we record the podcast, right? Obviously,
8
you can't
o'clock at
talk
night at the moment.
So that's pretty peak hour for American audiences.
Yeah.
It's a pretty untapped time for Australian audiences.
Sure.
See? Up there for thinking. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
That's it.
JB has to try and convince my wife that I don't need to get a job then.
Ah. There's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Because I got to write at some stage.
Well, just do it after you stream.
I can't sit here playing games all day.
Easy peasy. If you can, if you're making streamer money.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Here's your answer.
Good question, JB. Thank you for writing in. I agree with you. He should just fucking pop them titties out. Rightio.
All right, The Gap. You can find us on iTunes, Android, Windows Store, Spotify, YouTube, all those places. If you've got a moment, please rate and review. The show helps other people find it, especially if you're in the US now.
Oh.
I don't know how to find us in the US. I had a look. We're not on the top 100 anymore, Joab. But we are in Australia because I flicked the switch and then we go to Australia and we're in there.
Well, of course.
We're like 15th or something, 12th.
It's because Americans hate the C-bomb. They don't like hearing the word cunt. They fucking lose their shit. I know this because I've said it many times while in America. And nobody ever, it never scans well. It never goes down well. Yeah. They're real prudes. For a country that has pioneered some of the greatest depravities porn has ever seen, fuck, they're prudes.
I was watching something on TV that night, The Hangover. And wasn't really watching, it was just kind of on. And whenever they were swearing, it was blanked out.
You're joking.
Yeah.
That's like all my rap music. Fucking, I was listening to some fucking Post Malone song the other day, and it was fucking, half of it was fucking silent, because Google Music has queued up the fucking radio edit.
Imagine if we did it to this show. It'd be the same.
Good lord. It'd be some shit.
Yeah. All right, you can also email us, gapodcast@gmail.com. You can go to our Discord page, thegapodcast.com/Discord, if you want to leave us any questions as well, like Johnny Bravo has. You can jump in, I guess this weekend, maybe some Borderlands. A lot of people playing Borderlands this weekend. Yep. I'm still playing, played some Underworlds today. Sorry, Underlords today. Yeah, still playing that. Seems like there's other people still playing it every once in a while, so you can jump in. Check that out. You can find us on facebook.com/GAPodcast, twitter.com/GAPodcast. You can find us on YouTube, thegapodcast.com/YouTube, and our website, thegapodcast.com. It's got links to all the things we just talked about, including past episodes of the show. Maybe you want to go check out last week where we talked about Gears 5 again.
Right. Nice.
We talked about some stuff last week. Telling lies. There you go.
Telling lies.
Blair Witch. I didn't get a chance to check out much Blair Witch anymore. Mainly because of NBA. It's just taken up so much of my time. Yeah. I'm so excited for basketball this season. You can also subscribe to our Patreon page if you want to. Patreon.com/GAPodcast. It helps support this show. Keeps the site sort of running for the most part. So thank you to everyone that does it every month. Greatly appreciated.
You're the best.
And I think that is it. Joab, where can people find your work this week?
At Joby Jojo. You can see I wrote up the Intel World Open. Nate did a huge fucking interview on Red Bull about interview/feature on Red Bull about the future of Rainbow Six. That's definitely worth watching. That's about it. Go check it out.
Yep.
What about you?
For me, you can go to Stevivor.com. I haven't written anything this week, but I've got some stuff going up within the next week or two. Maybe I can talk about it next week. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Definitely keep an eye out on the site. They've got some cool stuff happening with PAX over, which is coming up is it October?
In a month.
PAX Australia. Yeah, I think they've announced some of it. I think Steve Wright's doing a Destiny panel with some of the developers over there and some other community members for Destiny because he's a giant Destiny nerd.
Yep.
And there is also another event that Stevivor is doing, which hasn't been announced yet, and we don't know when it's going to be announced. But keep an eye out for that. It'll be good because I think Stevivor did an event a couple of years back, and I thought it was the best event that I went to at PAX. So hopefully I can back it up.
Cool.
I left that event to go to Wargaming, and that was the biggest mistake I've ever made.
Wow.
Because it's Wargaming, right? You expect some stuff.
A certain level of insanity.
Yeah, it was not insane.
Cool.
So keep an eye on Stevivor.com for that.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. Otherwise, that is it. We'll be back next week. Borderlands 3. And maybe some other stuff. So we'll see what happens, but it should be a big week.
Yes, it'll be a big week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.